All right, so we are live. I don't know how I sound compared to where I was before. It's not
I think it's more or less the same. It's
okay.
maybe a little bit more reverb, but other than that,
I mean, there's nothing I can really do about that.
yeah.
The difference being I don't have a boom mic, so what you see is that.
Ah, the good old Blue Yeti with its old stand, its actual stand.
Yeah, it's actual stand. I don't have the boom mic this
I
time.
actually found the screws for mine recently.
Yeah, I do have a proper. Wait, is this a reading session? Yes, it is, Prinny.
We're
What's
live
up?
with reading
We are going to be reading. We will be reading
without without Shem, sadly.
without Shim. Sadly. What up?
And then immediately all the viewers just go because they're all here for Shem.
Yeah, they're all here for Shim. Oh no. Oh no.
How tragic.
Some of my old podcast buddies from the Naruto and Fairy Tale days.
Mm.
I saw some of their cosplay pics from MomoCon, and they were dressed up as slime characters, and I was like, "Aw, bitch!" So
Heck
proud
yeah.
of them.
Oh,
So proud
oh.
of them.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, how so sweet, and you're like, oh, bitch. It's like, well,
No. The endearing one. Aw, bitch.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you said that. It's like, I don't know how that would sound
You're
endearing,
here
though.
for Tony? What?
I think Toby.
You're here for Tony? No. It says I'm here for Tony. 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 No, I'm here to torment Moon, says Revan. Hi, Revan. How
Yeah,
drunk are
Toby
you?
is what I thought.
Oh, Toby. Oh.
Yeah, see.
Well,
I was right.
I got bad news for you. Toby been gone for a long time. I'm not home yet. Testing audio only mode. Oh, okay. Hi, Spider.
Toby
Um,
went to the range out back. Oh, yeah, no, like that one
You're
over
making
there.
it
See?
sound like I took him out to the shed to be like mutilated. No, Toby.
No. He's just at the neighbors.
We had a good run,
We had a good run,
but
but
he got
Toby,
rabies.
Yeah,
so.
we had to put him in a temporary living situation because
Toby
yeah,
is
he's
not
here
Old
right now.
Yeller. That's not what happened.
No. What do you mean? I mean, he's
I'll
actually
take care
over
of
there
Toby.
right
He is
now.
my dog. I'll take care of Toby. He is my dog. Oh no. Okay, pretty,
He's my dogger.
pretty dum dum. Wait, Robert, is that you? You'll take care of Toby. He
Like
is
you have a lot of bars
Is that
to come on.
Hi,
this street. I
Robert.
don't know.
Would that be you? Are you up in Iowa? Here for shenanigans, Moon's torment, and Sonic to screw up words while reading. I mean,
I've been getting better.
Technically speaking, we all screw up words while reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think that's
Obviously,
actually
it's experience
Robert
without.
because he would spell Toby's name correctly.
Well, he and the N are right next to each other.
Hmm.
The
I assumed it was
the
Toby he
what?
meant because of the
The
N.
I and the
B
Y?
key and the N key.
Yeah. They're right next to each other on the keyboard.
Toby is spelled Tobi.
Yeah, exactly. And he's accidentally fat fingered like hit N instead.
No. It's not Toby Toby. It's Toby Tobi. The Tony Toby thing was a different screw up entirely.
Yeah. He had to stop dealing with farts.
Some people
so
say it
Richie
with
left
I
the
or
dog
Y.
with someone else. No, Toby is Robert's dog, not my dog. He was never my dog.
Oh, I thought it was your dog.
No,
I did not know that.
he was not my dog. He just came in and like I like
You treated him like your dog?
I did. It's because
Okay.
I was always
That's
home.
how I assumed.
I was always home, so he was always around. Like Robert like had like a real job,
Oh, I never.
and my job was
Hold up.
like being like working from home.
House sitting.
No,
Anyway. All right.
I never went into Robert's room, so I never knew that there was mold in his room. Cause like I don't clean
Ah.
his room.
That is fair. That's his room. That's his job.
Yeah. Anyway, so don't get on me about that.
I wasn't. I wasn't
not-
getting on you about his room.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to someone else.
Oh. Oh.
Anyway. Leave me alone.
It sounded like you were. You were just venting.
Not at you.
I don't know.
What?
Richie's job was making dying noises.
That is very true. That is still my job. That has not ended. Even in my own stuff. That's very true. All right. Guys, so new room, who dis? Yeah. I'm not even done too. Like I just finished a load of stuff in the laundry that I have to hang up. By the way, I have to go tie shopping tomorrow because I don't know where my effing tie went when the packing happened. So yesterday's anime church, I was sadly tieless.
Oh no.
I mean,
I'm surprised you kept the suit on without me.
Wait, how come you weren't there, Moon? Usually that's your thing.
I literally pulled the shirt and like some of the first things that I did when I grabbed the totes, I grabbed the shirt and the coat out of the tote so I would have it for anime church. Because I could not remember. I was like, all right, who's not showing up? Is it Fenris or Moon that's not showing up? Well, I'm getting dressed up regardless.
At least you remembered someone wasn't showing.
I remembered someone wasn't showing up. I just couldn't remember who. That's all. Yeah. That's all all it was. Just could not remember who. Anyway.
And I don't know when you sent me that text because like the fairgrounds at the Red Fest, they are very spotty with connection.
Well, there you go. So I just figured if I didn't get an immediate response, then it was you. Yeah.
That's fair.
Also, I was like, Fenris showed up, so I guess it's Moon. So I was like, hey, Moon, you said you weren't showing up this week, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm not showing up. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Richie's job was make dying noises, indeed. All right, so the title of this week's stream is The More You Know, The More You Fear. Or in this case, you fuck around and you find out.
Ignorance is bliss.
And since we don't have a shim to fall back on and rely on to get us through most of this chapter, we're kind of just screwed. So yeah, I think we're gonna be on chapter 3 next week as well.
I mean, it's a holiday
because
anyway,
it's the three of us. It's the three of us, man.
Just the three of us.
By the way,
the three musketeers.
I'm just hoping we could get to the picture of what Adelman and his new knight look like, because I want to get to
and that be our stopping point.
No, guys, that's what they.
Oh, it's kind of
now. Ooh, pixels.
Yeah, pixels. Lovely. I can see a skull, and that's pretty much it.
Really?
A skull in like church robe, and that's pretty much it. I think there's another person there. I'm not 100% sure. I can't make out their face.
Quality, man.
I'm on potato quality for you guys.
You are potato.
Now it's fixed.
Yeah, you're better now. But like, if you put something close to the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I can make out that better.
I can see that.
Okay.
Like, put it closer up. Maybe the camera will adjust. A little closer. I think it gives it like. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, we're good.
Keep going. You're good.
Extreme close up. Whoa.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Back it up. Back it up. Keep it going.
Nope,
back it up.
Bring it back one time.
One hop this time. Two hops.
I'm not doing that. No, I have there are people below me. This is a townhouse. No.
Freeze!
Hands on your knees.
Everybody clap your hands.
Nope. Like my brother is literally playing Tears of the Kingdom right below me. So no.
Oh.
No. Which by the way, I have hooked up. I have yet to test it out, but I have hooked up. Guys, I have hooked up 2 things. Number 1, I have hooked up the Switch, but I can unplug the HDMI connected to the Switch and hook it up to the PS4. I now have the PS4 again, which means I can once again start playing games such as Dad of Boy and Horizon Forbidden West and The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 and other such fun titles like Final Fantasy 7 remake on PlayStation 4 and all.
I do need
sorts
to play
of other
some of
fun
those games
titles.
too. Yeah.
I also have like games that people have wanted me to play and watch me die a bunch because I had PlayStation Plus at one point, which I need to get again. It's, I guess, soon-ish.
Relevant again, maybe.
Yeah. I have like this big. I gotta give you guys like a little room tour. There's one thing that you can't see over here that's like crazy. Here, I'll turn. And one other thing. This is partially Revan's fault and partially my brother's fault. I'll show you my new mouse stand.
Half his fault, half the other person's fault. 0% my fault.
0%. Well, okay, I agreed to it, so it is partially my fault. I love that.
Okay, 1% my fault.
It's cloudy and 70 degrees in McMinnville, but once I'm back in Nashville, the clouds are only partial, and it's 72 degrees in Hermitage. So.
Hermitage.
All right, give me a second. So first off,
time for our room tour, boys and girls.
Sanded the hell out of it, painted it black, and the legs are red. So right now it's red and black, but later we're gonna put some tape on it and turn it into the Triforce.
Nice.
So okay, and then second, queen sized blow up mattress. Oh yeah, and we fixed the lights on the computer.
Cool.
Loose connection. So now, as you can see, it goes all crazy. But yeah. And
that won't be distracting.
I just brought this home today, so I wanted to make sure that I had the light novels and everything showing up on.
Because it's relevant to the light novel stream.
It was relevant to the light novel stream. I wanted to make sure I had at least something from the house showing up. Because I no longer have shelves, so I can't pull out like all the manga and DVDs and stuff. They're still in totes. The only totes that are in the... I do want to show you guys one thing, and this is silly to be like, oh my god, on stream, I will show one more thing. And this is kind of cool. I like this, at least. It's not for me. Okay, so here are the totes.
Just whenever he's fed up with us, he can just go in the he could go in the closet there.
Dude, I could technically have put the computer and everything. I mean, it'd have been cramped as hell, but I could have put it all in here and soundproofed it because this is a big old walk-in closet. And
I mean, for this, it's probably fine.
There's a door right here for a crawl space. So that's kind of nifty. And out in the hallway is one of those pull-down attics where you can go up the ladder into the attic and get phasmophobia'd.
Be a dweller.
Get phasmophobia'd. So that's the fun part. You know, we can do our own phasmophobia. Hey, AC Voice, what's up, man?
Hey.
So here's the thing: we can read light novel for the whole thing, or we can just sit around, shoot the shit for a little bit, as we have been doing. I figured we were gonna waste the first 30 minutes because it's what we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's gotta let everyone trickle in.
It's just tradition. And guys, if you're wondering about the spottiness of the walls,
congratulations on graduating.
Aw, thank you. I'm all right, mate. How are you lot doing? I just moved into a new place. We're talking about that a little bit. But thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for the 13 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's so cool. Thank you so much. We're just hanging out. It is Memorial Day here in the States.
Yep.
I don't know if you're celebrating a holiday. It's basically a 3-day weekend. I can see you liking this place better. Yeah. Even though it's just temporary, I've moved into the empty room that they have at my brother's place, just temporarily. This is actually we're going to be painting this room. I'm going to be helping my brother paint this room. This is going to be the girls' bedroom for his daughters when they one is
so expect to
visiting
see a
grandma.
different color.
There will be a different color, and there's going to be
What color is it? I'm curious. I don't want to assume.
There's going to be a projection of the galaxy up on the ceiling as well, and then bunk beds, stuff like that going on. So
what is a bank holiday?
I just imagine you and your niece like sharing a bunk bed.
Bank holiday?
Yeah.
When the banks are off.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Bank holiday.
Okay.
Monday.
I think they just get the whole week. Yeah.
Yeah, banks were off. Banks were closed this a bank holiday when banks were closed. Were banks closed for Memorial Day? Then it's a bank holiday. Yeah. Guess that counts. If it's a bank holiday, then same thing.
It's a holiday. What does it matter? Getting the day off.
Yeah, then I guess that's bank holidays kind of same thing. I mean, Memorial Day is not like a huge national holiday in the same way that, like, I guess, like, the 4th of July or Christmas, Easter.
That's the next big one, right? 4th of July?
4th of July is the next big holiday.
See, and then
I mean, Memorial Day is a national holiday. It's a holiday to celebrate veterans. It's a remembrance of veterans, but it's not Veterans Day. There is an actual Veterans Day, but Memorial Day is in remembrance of those we lost in. I think specifically it started with World War II. I don't know if it was World War I.
I assumed it was just in general.
Yeah, but I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember where Memorial Day started. Is the question.
Where does Memorial
When did Memorial Day start? Yeah.
It'll take place, but starts. Okay, I don't need a location. Waterloo, New York.
See, when you say where as opposed to when.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Details the origin of Memorial Day, which is May 29th this year. What is Memorial Day? Memorial Day is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving the U.S. military. No, it doesn't say the origin.
So it's just a general.
Yeah, it's not specific to like World War II or before or after.
So it's just all war. Okay.
That's what I assumed it was.
I figured it was all war, but I just was wondering what is the origin of Memorial Day?
Let's see.
Oh, goodness, Moon, you had like a staticky gurgling going on.
I thought he was playing a retro game. It was crashing.
No, there was like some staticky stuff going on with your.
Let's see.
I don't know. Could have been a
Origins
connection or a Discord
of
thing.
Memorial Day.
You used to go watch the parade and the firing of the cannon, and you're with your.
Okay.
He's not able.
It looks like it is.
You're going without him. Aw.
After the Civil War. After the Civil War.
Okay.
3 years specifically.
3 years after the Civil War was Memorial Day. That makes a lot of sense considering how many people were lost in that war. Yeah. On both sides.
So from that point onward, that's what we celebrated for. It seems like
thinking of how many American lives were technically lost, whether it was the Union or the Confederacy. American lives, you know.
I mean, it's not even that one far off from the American Revolution too. But I think that one does make more sense. Not to say the American Revolution isn't bad, but it's like or not worth remembering.
It was less than 100. It was less than 100 years following the American Revolution. 1865 to 76. So, favorite abridged studio. Having fun stream.
Interesting.
Hey, Shem. What's going on?
Shem?
Yeah.
What the heck? Are you having fun not on stream?
Shrapna. What's up, man? What's up, Shrapna?
Okay, this is interesting.
Are you having a fun stream? You were doing all right. I don't know. The ceiling. What's up? The streaming. The ceiling. The ceiling is up.
This is interesting. Apparently, Memorial Day was originally known as Decoration Day
Mm.
when it was yeah, no, it
Dunkirk.
started as
Oh.
Decoration Day instead of
Mm.
Memorial Day for the
My
American Revolution
biological
or
grandfather,
Civil War.
my biological grandfather on my mom's side was a bomber pilot in World War II. So, got an interesting connection with that.
I don't think any of my grandparents were. I know the furthest back I think was the Great Depression, but I do my grandma on my mom's side actually worked on Tomahawk missiles. Like she'd
Mm.
help build them, put them together.
Cool.
Yeah, I never knew her because I think she died right before I was born, like a year before or something like that. But it's like,
Oh.
oh, Grandma Peggy built Tomahawk missiles. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
She
that's,
sounds badass. I would have loved to meet
that's
her.
pretty
That would have been
dope.
awesome. Yeah. Oh man.
That's pretty badass, dude.
I built computers. What did she build? She built missiles.
Right?
What do I build? I build computers for gaming, maybe, and I help people work on IT stuff.
Yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to need help soon. I'm currently on a USB Wi-Fi connection.
You poor so. Oh, USB Wi-Fi connect. Oh, like a USB
Yeah, I had to use a USB.
Ethernet
I know I had to
or a
use a
Wi-Fi
USB
dongle.
Wi-Fi dongle because the Wi-Fi card is not being detected.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi card is hooked up.
Did you update the driver for it?
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I go into Device Manager and the computer does not recognize it.
It may have specific drivers that it needs to have downloaded that the computer cannot supply. So
Beforehand,
you may need
yeah.
to go to the
Okay,
manufacturer's
so
website.
here's the thing. Okay, so that might be the thing. The thing is, like they supply a disk drive or disk, and I'm like, why? Because most computers
You
don't
don't
even
have a
have disk
drive.
drives anymore. I don't have a disk
Yeah.
drive.
Isn't it great?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
reminds me when my
I
friend
tried
came
with
over
my
to
original
visit, I'm
build.
like, hey, you want a free video game? He built the damn computer, and he forgot that it does not have a disk drive.
right. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have. I guess I'll just have to download the drivers from the manufacturer or whatever. Then see
Yep.
if that works.
Yeah.
And if it
That's probably
detects
the best bet.
if it detects it, then great, and I don't have to do anything, and I've got it, and it works.
Yep.
We'll download.
I
the
would assume,
drivers.
yeah. That's probably the work. I mean, if it doesn't, then you might need to go down the rabbit hole of contacting support and be like, hey, having this issue, but
Well, I'm wondering. See, the thing is, I was wondering maybe it was installed wrong, but I don't think it is.
Shouldn't be.
it should. I mean, if you just did next on everything instead of doing a custom installation, then yeah, it should be fine.
I mean,
It could have corrupted maybe during download. I don't know.
the computer was turned off. It was shut off.
He's talking about the physical installation of the card.
Physical installation.
Oh, still
Yeah,
could
physical,
possibly happen.
physical
But
installation, but like the computer was turned off. The power supply was off. Everything. Like it was said, because I turned everything off, had unplugged everything because we were moving.
yeah,
Turned it all off, hooked it up, did all the stuff I was supposed to. Right?
how securely do you believe it was packaged? The computer, just on the off chance.
Pretty securely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, another question. You
Well-
installed it from the physical disk?
No.
Okay.
Could not install it from the physical disk.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
I
'Cause
don't
I
have
thought
a
I heard
physi-
that.
I don't have a disk drive.
That's what got me confused. Because like, wait, you don't have it. So how did you install it physically
I
then?
can't-
Unless it
I
was like
can't-
USB.
I
No. I'm cleared up
physically-
now.
I
Like,
physically
yeah.
put it in my computer.
Yeah,
When
that's where I
moved.
got tripped up. It's like, how did you do that? You didn't download from the website.
Like, okay, so I have to download.
yeah.
I have to download all the stuff from the website and do the install that way.
Yeah, because that everything would be up to date.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah, just the very first thing you see
I'll
up
go,
there.
So I'll go and do that. I've got the box with. I've still got the box here that has all the stuff on it, and has all the information and stuff. I don't think I have the booklet though, so
I mean, the computer's built, so the only time you need the booklet is if you need to actually mess with, like, figure out what plugs for what in the
Welcome,
motherboard.
Spider.
Hey!
What's up?
Hi, Paul. He's like, book. I'm like, bro, you don't need to tell me to exercise. I've been moving everything from my house, from one house to another house. I have literally done probably 9 hours of driving over the last 2 days. And all the moving of everything to and from, and up and downstairs, up and downstairs, up and downstairs. Anytime I have to throw trash out, I have to go downstairs, come back upstairs. And then,
Getting your steps in.
not only that, but like, um, we cleaned the stairs because there was a 10-year-old here, and 10-year-old be messy, making a mess, and so we went through and like scrubbed the hell out of the stairs and stuff. So being cleanly and stuff, it was nice. So got good workout in. I worked up a sweat. Dude, I did it. I broke it. I broke the seal. I'm down under 190 pounds. I'm in the 180s now.
Woo!
So feeling good about that, and I'm hoping to keep that down. Yep.
Yeah, I want to
too
try to
much
get down
data.
too.
All right, good. Yeah, I'm down in the 189. I'm hoping to keep dropping that low, keeping it low. I have sushi in the fridge for tomorrow for lunch, and I've still got some more Cheerios for breakfast tomorrow. So also the Kroger here, Jesus Christ, the Kroger here is like 6 times the size of the Kroger I was shopping at before. So
That's good.
It is insane.
It's more of a selection.
You ever seen a Kroger that sells shoes?
No.
Does yours now?
We have one here in Athens.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's like a fucking Walmart in there almost.
Oh boy.
Okay, so if Target is the... Here's my question then. If Target is the red equivalent of Walmart, what is Kroger's then, since you said that? I'm curious.
Publix.
I don't know why. I meant to make like the comparison between Coke and Pepsi with that.
Here's the thing. If you're not Publix is also a very small chain. If you get past a certain level of if you go past a certain elevation of the United States, Publix does not exist. Kroger goes further north than Publix.
Interesting.
Yes.
I might be too far north then, because I don't know that. I've never been to a Kroger's, I don't think.
Also, Publix goes, Kroger goes further west than Publix.
Again, literally as far northwest as you can be without hitting the water.
He has none of those.
Yeah.
I'm too far.
You are far too far. All right.
I'm too far. If I move, I gotta move more towards the center.
He's too far gone.
I'm too far out there. I've always been.
He's almost to Canada.
Publix
all my life.
Publix these nuts. Oh no.
They put me off. My family put me off the grid because they do.
Publix stops at Arkansas. Oh, there
I
you
read
go.
that as Arkansas.
To be fair,
it's pronounced Arkansas, you idiot.
To be fair, a lot of things stop at Arkansas, and for good reason. Arkansas would be scary. Anyway.
You don't go past Arkansas. You don't know what's up here.
Arkansas.
Things get scary up here.
All right.
Mainly because you don't have Kroger's or
Dear Lord.
Five Guys.
We do have Five Guys here in...
we don't have them up here.
Here in Hermitage. You know what else we have here in Hermitage that I was very surprised about? We have a Whataburger.
We don't got Whataburger.
We got one of those recently here in Georgia.
Wow.
I haven't been to it yet. It's out of the way, but still.
It sounds like a weapon. AR Kansas? Oh, God. Why?
We got
Why
McDonald's,
do you say words,
we got
Spider?
Walmart, we got Safeway.
No, they're right. We call it AR Kansas because everyone's afraid to go there.
Yep. The day after this meeting, Yuki's secretary, Kagali, guided Shinji and his friends to the outskirts of Tempest.
Oh, we're just jumping right into it. Let's go, boys, girls.
Not even no foreplay, no nothing. Just diving right in.
Hope you brought your floaties, guys.
Floaties. No.
You said we're jumping right in.
I'm not nearly that kind. I threw them right in a burlap sack.
The pool's empty.
Swimming's easy. Once you get out of the burlap sack, it's so much simpler. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Would you like extra pickles with that assault weapon? Yes, but not for me. You don't get pickles. You get a cucumber. And not even slices. You get the whole one. Up the butt. Gives the atrocities that extra tang. But you're in the Chinese space program. And in the
imagine
Chinese
if you coded every...
And in the Chinese space program, Tang is one of the astronauts.
No. Imagine if you coated every bullet with pickle juice and whatever, or pickle juice, and they fired. You feel that with every bullet entry.
Oh no!
It stinks. It doesn't just hurt. Why do they do that?
Anyway, 10 days after that, Ghidorah set off by himself to another destination. After seeing Yuki admonish the three of them, he figured he'd let them handle the mission solo to start with. He didn't think Yuki really saw them as disposable. It was just a little tough talk to put them in the right mindset. Sir Yuki's not exactly an honest man either. He thinks he's so talented, and he expects the same from everyone else. That much was clear to Ghidorah, and it was true for himself personally as well. Ghidorah had no intention of sending his apprentices out to be killed. If they got in trouble, he could reach out to them. But he never actually voiced this. Instead, he just silently menaced those around him, making people think he was a scary old man. But Ghidorah was blissfully unaware of all this as he headed for the former kingdom of Farmus. He had recalled an old apprentice of his, and he decided to call on him to gather information about Rimuru. Oh, here we go.
My old apprentice.
Flying over to the old Farmus capital of Maris, he promptly headed for the palace. Rosin, working in his office, practically shot out of his chair when he found out. Long before Ghidorah even reached the palace, he picked up on the nearby presence of his great master. A man he thought died long ago. I can't believe he's alive, he muttered, and as he did, he realized this was going to be trouble. Even if he didn't know Ghidorah's intentions, Rosin knew Ghidorah had come near to see him, and it clearly wasn't just to rekindle an old friendship. And there was another problem. The Farminus Palace guards didn't know Ghidorah. If something wasn't done, he'd doubtlessly start a scuffle at the palace gates and kill anyone who defied him. And should Rosin himself ever get on Ghidorah's bad side? No. If that ever happened, I could never hold back Sir Ghidorah myself. Mm-hmm. Quickly reaching that conclusion. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, this feels so strong, reminds me so strongly of when Maul was in, I know Star Wars, me bringing Star Wars up. This reminds me so of when Maul took over Mandalore and Palpatine walks in. But only if he did have Savage with him. Why it's you said like this sounds so familiar. This is Palpatine in my master. I see you have survived your injuries.
Joke's on you! I'm into that shit!
You have disappointed me, Ghidorah, sorry.
Gamora.
I don't know.
Wrong
franchise. Sorry.
Wrong franchise. Not nearly.
Sorry, who are you again? You're not the slime, are you?
Green Thumb.
I got my notes crossed. Stormtrooper! You got my notes wrong.
Stormtrooper, go fuck yourself. Don't mess with King Ghidorah.
Vader, did you get my notes wrong for this series?
Alright. Quickly reaching that conclusion, Rosin sprang into action, making a magical call to one of his new apprentices. You can hear me, can't you? Don't call me out of nowhere like this. You must have noticed what's going on, too. Yeah, Grigori hasn't yet, but I felt this foreign presence out of nowhere. It's gonna reach the palace gate, you know? Well, if you know all that, join me at the gate now. All right, I owe you one after all. Rosin had recently taken on 2 new apprentices, Sare and Grigori, former battle sages and part of the Master Rooks assigned to the papacy in the Holy Empire of Lubelius. He came to know the 2 men as he went around the country on inspection runs. They had committed mistakes that made them no longer welcome in the papacy, so he picked them up as new disciples. This wasn't because they particularly hit it off. Rosin just had a lot of sympathy for them, especially Sare, who had to admit his epic defeat to newspaper reporters from around the world. It was Diablo who handed him that defeat, and to Rosin, that struck too close to home. Sare could be hot-headed, but he still accepted Rosin as his master. Grigori, for his part, had spells where he'd be struck by terror about something, but over time his natural fearlessness was coming back. In terms of pure strength, they were attractive talents, so Rosin planned to train them as behind-the-scenes agents in the future. Handling potentially dangerous incidents like this was part of that training. Me, Sari, and Grigori? If I had Sir Grusith join us, that should be enough to handle Ghidorah. Regular infantry would be useless against such a uniquely powerful sorcerer. The kingdom of Farminus lacked champion-class talents at the moment, a major weakness. Chief Fulgen of the former Farmus Knight Corps and his men were now a thing of the past. If Farminus' major issue was finding people to replace them, being reminded of Farminus' major issue was finding people to replace them. Being reminded of this made Rosin grit his teeth over how late he was to react. By the time he reached the palace gate, Sare and Grigori were already there, and already in a stare-down with Ghidorah on the other side. Hey man, I don't know what brings you to this castle, but this is where we live, alright? You know we can't let strangers inside, okay? He's right, old man. Take it from us. You'll want to be on your way for now. If you're here to see someone, ask a clerk, and you'll get a response in 2 or 3 days. The 2 of them were rather polite, by their standards, as they blocked Ghidorah's way. The sight made Rosin feel like years were being taken off his life. Stop! Rosin hollered. Let that man through. Huh? You don't want us to stop him? Said Sari. What do you call us for, then? Grigori demanded. They didn't appreciate the order much, but Rosin didn't care. How nice to see you again, Sir Ghidorah. I'm afraid I was unaware you were still alive. I apologize I was not worthy enough to call upon you earlier. He took a knee in front of Ghidorah as he spoke reverently. Rosin had a motive for wanting to stay on good terms with Ghidorah. If push came to shove, he'd put everything he had in stopping him, but it didn't seem like it'd come to that. Have a good time. Have a good one, EC.
Take care, man.
All right. Let's see. I lost my place for a second.
It has been indeed.
Come to that.
There you go.
It has indeed been quite a while, Rosin. You look different, but it seems it really is you, eh? Yes, sir. Unlike you, I have survived thanks to taking on a new body. No need to be so formal. I'm not chiding you. I've come here today because I need to ask you about some matters. And you, the beast man hiding over there. There's no need to be so wary of me. If I was hostile to any of you, I wouldn't have come here by myself. Ghidorah's words finally eased the tension, but Rosin and his apprentices didn't let their guard down, asking for time to set up a conference space before taking their leave. The next day, their conference began at a room inside the palace. The attendees were Yom, Grusith, and Rosin, with Sari and Grigori standing nearby as Yom's bodyguard detail. Mirren wanted to join as well, but was turned down. She had only just given birth, and Yom insisted she stay in bed and rest. Their newborn was a girl named Miem, cute and resembling Mirren. Prince Edgar was giving the little one all his doting care. So, Master, what did you want to ask me about? said Rosin. Well, before I broach the subject, I'd like to point out a few things first. You, sorry, was it? You seem decently strong, but magic is a weakness of yours, isn't it? Casting magic isn't about memorizing a spell, you know. You must learn how to correctly manage the magic force inside you. And this beastman, Grusith. As for you, thus Ghidorah began pointing out the weakness of everyone in the room. Grusith, as he said, needed to learn how to gauge the capabilities of his foes before attacking them. Transforming in front of your enemy, as he sternly put it, is all but ceding the first strike to them. For Yom, while he was more powerful than the average person by the looks of it, he suggested focusing more on protecting his own body, as over-reliance on his weapons and armor would be his downfall. With Grigori, on the other hand, he struck a bitter tone, simply ordering him to polish his skills more. Finally, Ghidorah's eyes settled upon Rosin. Rosin, I see you've been quite diligent. Your magic is possession-based, is it not? Yes, master. The secret art of possession based on the theory behind your mysterious art of reincarnation. A very interesting experiment. Unlike my spell, it doesn't require the target to spend time as a weakened, defenseless child. It is an honor to hear. But it is all pointless unless you make the best use of it. You went through all the effort to seize that body, and you're not extracting everything you can from it. Yes, master. Rosin bowed at the advice, breaking into a sweat. This was something he already knew about himself. It forced him to admit that Ghidorah was probably right about everyone in the room. Truly a fearsome figure. In the space of a day, he's perfectly judged every aspect of our abilities. He fell silent, unable to put anything into words, but Sari and Grigori were less appreciative. Whoa! Where do you get off lording it over us like that? How can you take one look at me and spout off all that nonsense? Yeah, I owe a great debt to Sir Rosin, but I ain't got no reason to kowtow to his master, too. If you're that confident about it yourself, how about you and I have a little lesson together, huh? Now they were ready to duke it out. Rosin wanted to scream at them to shut up, but seeing the look on his master's eyes, he refrained. To Ghidorah, this much was expected, and he fully anticipated showing off his skills to Sari and Grigori. If so, Rosin thought, perhaps there's still an amicable end to all this. Let's play along with my master. So in a sort of warm-up before the meeting, Ghidorah fought a battle against Sari and Grigori. This was held in the palace's training guards, and Ghidorah naturally destroyed them. No way! This old man is crazy! He'd even break a sweat wiping both of us up. Ghidorah's overwhelming strength completely smashed their pride as former battle sages. His intention was to show off his might, then use that to smoothen their negotiations. Sari and Grigori reacted exactly as he had hoped. What happened after that, however, didn't follow the script. But you're not as good as that demon, said Sari. That bad, eh? Then again, I'd say that dog I fought is about as strong as you, old man, Grigori added.
Damn.
The hell? What's that about? What the heck? Mm-hmm. Like, he's been super chill up to this point.
They had just lost big, but seemed oddly accepting of it. And despite seeing Ghidorah's strength, they didn't act too surprised. As strong as me? And a demon out there is more powerful than me, even. An unexpected reaction confused Ghidorah, but it didn't seem like Sari and Grigori were being sore losers. They must have really meant it, and Ghidorah wanted to inquire in more detail. We could discuss this later, Sir Ghidorah. For now, allow me to answer your original questions, but Rosin put a quick end to the proceedings. Returning to the reception room, the meeting was picked up anew. Man, you really are Rosin's master, a jovial Yom began. What a monster! I don't think I could ever beat you. Grusith nodded excitedly. Yeah, the magic-born Rosin's made a big name for himself around here, but we never hear many stories about his instructor. Murin said you crafted a new system of magic theory, and the way you fought, I believe her. Ghidorah's magic was stupendous, as expected. He interfered with the magic energy of his opponents, blocking their spells as he launched two of his own simultaneously. both with punishing force. It was a spectacular feat, one designed to serve as a dazzling demonstration. Sari and Grigori were much more powerful than even a charged-up, ready-to-rock Grusith, and Ghidorah treated them like playthings. There was no doubting his strength. Thus, while Yom and Grusith enjoyed the spectacle, the losers seemed pretty discouraged as they dutifully returned to guard duty. "So," Rosin asked, "what is it that brought you here?" "I wanted to show my strength to make sure nobody tried pointlessly resisting me. As I believe Rosin knows, my anger is entirely directed at Luminism. I have no interest in anything else, so I cannot bear to have this nation exposed to an imperial invasion and untold casualties." It was an ominous statement despite Ghidorah's casual tone. "Imperial. For real? Come on, man," said Yom. "Don't go barging in here while I'm the king." "You said it. We'd never beat you, and I don't want Murin or my baby girl exposed to danger," added Grusith. "She's not yours, damn it! Get that through your head already! She's my treasure!" "Ah, shut up! She's not mine by blood, but she's my daughter. I've decided. I'm gonna live like a father from now on. She's not for you. That's not for you to decide!" I love that they're already fighting over this. The idiot slime who named a primordial without realizing
the father.
Yeah. It was a pretty painful argument waged between Yom and Grusith. Rosin cleared his throat to shut them up. "Right. Now I see. Sir Ghidorah, why you came here. You'd like Farminus to switch sides to the Empire in exchange for not being touched during the war?" "Quite so. You know perfectly well how powerful the Empire is, I imagine. I am part of that package, of course, and should Farminus join our forces, capturing Dworgen would be a simple job. That nation is extremely vulnerable to being starved out. Keep anything from entering or leaving, and they'll quickly throw in the towel." Boy, this guy's about to learn some very bad news.
Oh, very.
Oh, yeah. Of course, that would only work if something was done about Tempest. Rosin was quick to point that out. "I'm afraid, Sir Ghidorah, that is not possible. A railroad has been built between the Dworgen Kingdom and Tempest that allows for high-speed transport. Even if we halted all food exports today, they can supply themselves well enough via that route. And that's why I'm asking you to betray them. Tempest itself is not terribly self-sufficient food-wise either. What you grow here could..." "Sir Ghidorah?" Rosin interrupted Ghidorah, as rude as he knew it was. He had realized Ghidorah was relying on outdated information. He wasn't keeping up with the times. World trends were operating much, much faster than they used to. If they turned traitor to the Western nations at this point, they'd be banned from the world economy, and that would spell doom for their kingdom. Even if the Empire offered them protection and generous support, they couldn't expect as much luxury as they enjoyed at present. That was how much Farminus was now influenced by the West, or really by Tempest. "I see," Ghidorah said after Rosin explained all this. "I was aware, although I wanted to hear about it straight from the horse's mouth, but you truly think the Demon Lord Rimuru doesn't fear Imperial force? I suppose, of course, that he could even defeat an army of angels, with his power, but it would cause untold damage to everything he has built up. The Empire has been considering a train system of its own, but we've taken a wait-and-see approach for that reason." That was how he responded to the news of a rail network linking the world's bigger cities. "Sir Rimuru, I assure you, is not afraid of collateral damage." "Nah, not at all. The guy hates losing people, but anything else, I don't think he really cares that much." "Yeah, and
The only thing Rimuru fears is Shion's cooking.
Yeah.
It got better, but yeah.
And hell, maybe he likes it. It gives people more work to do. Rosin and Grusith and Yom all lobbed out their opinions. Yom's words, in particular, had real weight behind them. People find happiness in being relied upon. They want to use their skills to help others out. If there's no work and nothing to do all day, that'd take the wind out of anyone's sails. Some of them might turn to crime. It was thus the job of a leader or employer to find new work for them. Once all this construction work is wrapped up, in each country, that'll just leave repair and maintenance. My pal Rimuru has been fretting over what he's gonna do after that. We were drinking together a while back, and he was like, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but our technical skills aren't keeping up. And if the angels attack at a time like that, it'll breed a huge demand for rebuilding and recovery. I bet Rimuru'd act pretty pissed off about it, but maybe he'd actually be glad deep down." Even Grusith was agreeing with Yom. Sare and Grigori looked exasperated, but they didn't seem eager to refute them. But even if he's a demon lord, if he starts meddling too much in the human territories of the West, the Rozos won't take that sitting down, will they? Rosin's story was generally a match with the information Ghidorah assembled, but some pieces of the puzzle were still missing. Ghidorah wanted to use this occasion to milk Rosin for as much intelligence as he had. The Rozos wouldn't wait for things to unfold. They'd take action to protect their investments. If economics get involved, Ghidorah reasoned, they'd engage in non-military sabotage to get their way. His question for Rosin, of course, was framed so he could learn as much as possible about the Rozos' current state. Rosin, correctly reading this, gave Ghidorah what he wanted. "The Rozos, my master, are finished. The kingdom of Doran is still going strong, and the survivors are gathered inside it, but they will never hold sway over the council at this point. The surrounding nations continue doing business only because Rimuru allows it. King Doran has surrendered to him as well." As Rosin explained this, he decided to divulge the truth behind why the Farmus military lost so badly. That was the first revelation of the day that truly surprised Ghidorah. So the Demon Lord Rimuru laid waste to the Farmus army all by himself? And the Rozos are no longer... But hold on one moment. If those are no mere rumors, then what of Granville Rozo? Granville the hero was, in Ghidorah's mind, the most powerful man in the world. He had been so careful in his campaign plans against the West because he knew he led the 7 Days clergy, but now Rosin claimed the Rozos were gone. So the rumors that the 7 Days clergy were killed, they are also true, Master. The 7 Days clergy opposed Sir Rimuru, so they attempted to pit Hinata of the Crusaders against him, but the plot was discovered and they were destroyed soon after. Now even Ghidorah was stunned into silence. Rosin had clearly stated that everyone in the 7 Days clergy was dead. Even Grin, the Sunday priest, met his doom at the hand of Cardinal Nicholas. It made Ghidorah realize just how feeble his intelligence network was. If Granville was dead, that lent credence to the reported fall of the Rozo family. If he had learned that sooner, Ghidorah thought he could have greatly revised their plan for this campaign. And also, that little sneak. He knew it all along, and he never told me. Ghidorah recalled the face of Yuki as he bitterly intoned the words. Perhaps the young man thought telling him would damper his lust for revenge, or so. Ghidorah didn't like it one bit. Oh, if so, Ghidorah didn't like it one bit. "By little sneak, are you referring to Yuki Kagarazaka?" asked Rosin. "That man's taken advantage of us as well, so I think I understand how you feel." Being comforted by his apprentice put Ghidorah in a mood that was difficult to describe, half frustration, half embarrassment. And the way Rosin put it, Yuki was a thorn in Rimuru's side too, although the Demon Lord chose to see how things unfolded before declaring Yuki his enemy. "Damn you, Yuki. Hiding things from me yet again, are you? You know full well I'm here to destroy Luminism, and you give me nothing but the vaguest reports from the Western Holy Church. If there's something that would cause you trouble if I heard it, but is there something that would cause you trouble if I heard about it?" Now Ghidorah realized he was being used, and there, in front of Rosin and the rest, he found himself unsure how their future would unfold. Moon, you take over.
Wow.
I have done my Shimley duty.
Yes. What a pickle this is. Now that I know all this, I really must reconsider our approach to this Rimuru. The Demon Lord Rimuru was a greater threat than Ghidorah pictured. What was the correct way to address this? Ghidorah had his friend betrayed and killed. He wouldn't stop his crusade against Luminism now. But now everybody in the 7 Days clergy, the most urgent target of his revenge, was already dead. Now there was no reason to advocate for the West's fall so passionately. Ghidorah and the Empire worked together because they had common goals. And if that was no longer on the table, Ghidorah had no real obligation to the Empire. No, there is still another. The god. The one at the top. The Demon Lord Luminous remains. His friends' belief in their god killed him. There was no way a Demon Lord borrowing the name of a deity could be allowed to stay alive. The realization made Ghidorah renew his drive to soldier on. Or it made him try to. Sir Ghidorah, Sir Ghidorah, forgive me if I am out of line, but I feel that stopping this campaign is your best choice. Huh? But the sight of Rosin looking concerned for him made Ghidorah doubt his resolve all over again. Even now, my master, I see myself as nothing more than your faithful servant. However, I have now devoted even more of my loyalties to another. And if you are going to wage war against his country, it will force me to become your enemy as well. You don't mean Rimuru? No. It is Sir Diablo, one of many serving him, who is my master now. This more than surprised Ghidorah a bit. Rosin was his apprentice, one he was quite proud of, and hearing him serve someone who himself served a demon lord was a hard pill to swallow. I hate to interject, Stare said without prompting, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to say something. Diablo's the guy, the demon who defeated me. The demon who was stronger than me? I have a hard time believing it, but if Rosin serves him now, I can't discount it as a lie. He still didn't think he'd lose, but Ghidorah made sure to keep the name Diablo in his mind. And let me tell you this as well, Sir Ghidorah, added Rosin. Sir Diablo is one of the old demons. I'd imagine so if you lost to him. He'd have to be an ancient, maybe even a prehistoric, a rare breed indeed. If he was both that and a named creature, his powers could easily surpass a demon lord's. No, nothing of that level, said Rosin. He is far, far above that. He said he was a demon peer, Stare cut in. That's ridiculous, Ghidorah almost shouted. Demons could only evolve up to a set level. That was a hard rule, and as far as he knew, only one demon had ever defied it. This archdemon found a way to enhance himself up to demon peer, and it made him the most powerful, most villainous of all demon lords, Guy Crimson, the Lord of Darkness. Sir Ghidorah, the lifespan of my master, Sir Diablo, is not a matter up for debate. I trust you understand what I mean by that. Rosin's words seemed a planet away to Ghidorah. He couldn't believe it. He didn't want to believe it. A primal, he muttered. Or he mumbled. Yes.
Now let that shit sink in.
The affirmation cruelly reached his ears. He tried to calm his heart as he discerned how truthful this was. There certainly seemed to be ample reason to doubt Rosin. If a primal demon had taken physical form anew, it wouldn't be strange at all to see one reborn as a demon peer. If Rosin was being truthful, it'd mean a massive rewrite of the Empire's campaign. Looking at Blanc, the original white, and the headaches she'd caused the Empire, there was no need to explain just how dreadful a threat this was. Oh, he doesn't know. He
really doesn't.
But wait a moment. If a primal has acquired a physical body, why hasn't any tragedy ensued? Ghidorah had composed himself now, but even he knew the question wasn't important. Now hold on just one minute. Does it even matter whether Diablo's a primal? He's certainly taken Rosin as his disciple, that much is obvious, and that could very well mean he's at least a demon peer already. Then, hearing Yom and the others chat among themselves, he froze. Who is this? Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay. Yeah, but isn't that Sir Diablo guy the butler to Rimuru or something like that?
Apologies,
like,
I'm having to change addresses on my bank right now. Because I just remembered to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when I went to the opening ceremony for our railroad earlier, I heard he didn't want to deal with Rimuru's personal stuff on his own any longer, so he scouted some friends and brought him on board. Oh yeah, I caught sight of one of them. Rimuru made her his special diplomatic envoy. So we met her. So we met at the council. She's got this snow white hair, these deep red eyes, like crazy hot.
Super hot. I'm talking
Ghidorah
like
sank
10
weakly
at
into his
minimum.
seat. It can't be. Those are the exact physical traits of Blanc.
Yep.
It was looking more and more like the truth, but to Ghidorah, it was nothing but a nightmare. He looked at Rosin, currently sagely nodding it to himself. This is all true. I would never lie to you, my master. Then Ghidorah realized something. Rosin and his cohorts were being truthful, and it was purely out of concern for Ghidorah's health that they urged him to stop this war. It's that bad? Ghidorah's question was greeted with silent nods across the room. When he saw this, a new thought made the blood drain from his face. Ah! Shinji's group might already be out on the field.
Ghidorah, you're okay? You're looking paler than Blanc there.
Shit. The tempestuous capital of Rimuru was teeming with people. It was a real metropolis now, experiencing a major boom, and even to other worlders like Shinji and
You're
his
looking a
friends,
little
there was
wider than
nothing
Blanc
rustic.
there. Hell yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile, in Tempest.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Shinji and his friends, there was nothing rustic and unsophisticated about it. The capital in the province of Nazca wasn't so bad, but the surrounding towns still had a barnyard animal smell to them. Nothing so unpleasant here. It was an incredible surprise. I thought they raised this whole city and left nothing but a gate in place. Guess that was wrong, huh? Said Shinji. Mark and Jin responded in kind. I doubt it, man. Maybe they can flip it on or off, or maybe our agent saw an illusion or something. We must remain on our guard. The trio looked at one another and braced themselves once more. They had been transported via the elemental magic warp portal by Kigali, God, these names, who had visited Tempest before. She left before very long, but they were due to meet Ghidorah here later, so his magic would drive their return trip. Until then, they were ordered to investigate as much as they could without exposing themselves to danger, and Shinji's band, being no fools, intended to stick to that. Miss Kigali sure was pretty, huh? Oh no, that was Shinji, okay. Miss Kigali sure was pretty, huh? Whoa, Shinji, you want to get dumped? Dumped? I'd need a girlfriend first. It'd make for a more exciting life if I had one, but... Huh? Forget it, Mark. Forget it, Mark. He's too slow on the uptake. Mark and Jin shrugged at the whining Shinji, as they continued entertaining each other. They reached the town entrance and underwent the entry. They had free guild ID cards provided by Yuki, so the process went surprisingly fast. A basic rundown, and they were on their way. So they procured an inn, then started touring around town on their intelligence gathering mission. It was all quite a surprise. As otherworlders, they enjoyed great physical strength, and generally good treatment wherever they went. This, however, didn't mean they did whatever they wanted. The way the Demon Lord Rimuru did, and they probably couldn't anyway. Yuki had worked hard to improve their diets, and living environments in general, and that was starting to trickle down across the empire, but this city was well beyond that point. Shinji knew a fair bit about this already, so he was more amazed than surprised. There was takoyaki, okonomiyaki, yakisoba, even desserts like crepes and cakes. They also found places offering incredibly high-end meals, making them wonder how they ever tracked down the ingredients. From street stalls and cafes to restaurants and fine dining, Tempest had it all. Everyone seemed so passionate about their food, and so much of it recreated the tastes and aromas of their old world. The locals must have been flummoxed at first, but now they were used to all the variety. Shinji, for his part, cried literal tears of joy when he saw curry rice on offer at one eatery. Even the bathrooms were first-rate, and their inn was nice and comfy too, complete with an open-air bath added as entertainment for the masses. Hey, you guys mind if I live here? Said Mark. Like, how about we just don't go back to the Empire? Whoa. My bad. Just kidding. Don't get so angry, Shinji. I'm not angry, I'm just, like, seriously ready to and stuff. I want to live here too. They all exchanged glances, then sighed. Until now, they thought the Empire was the world they thought the Empire was the world, running at the bleeding edge of civilization. Now that they knew about Tempest, they realized how wrong they were. The town was alive with energy. There was tons of good stuff to eat. It was comfortable to live in. It seemed like a hub for entertainment and civilization, and new games and diversions were being invented every day. These games were all very familiar from their original world, and after the harsh environment they had been living in, such pleasures left the trio feeling nostalgic. The Empire had culture and entertainment of its own, but that was strictly for the nobility. It wasn't as free as the town, and it wasn't priced low enough for common people.
Yeah, damn
Meanwhile,
dirty nobility not giving any real good entertainment for us common stormtroopers.
Sorry, I had to go get some dinner. It's, Dad's making hamburgers.
Oh yeah, but we're talking about how the
Imperial
Empire. We're talking about. How
you're talking about me. Sorry.
No, we're talking about how the Empire doesn't have like good entertainment for the common stormtrooper.
Yeah.
No,
at least our Death Star had some accommodations. Before it was blown up. Still reeling from that, am I?
The bunk beds had spikes on them.
All right.
Mine or I'm sorry, not mine.
We're not even going to talk about the insane OSHA violations going on with the lack of handrails on the Death Star.
Oh yeah.
They would be leaning on them all day.
Anyways. No. We really can't. Yeah, I'm sure Yuki would be pissed, and I'd be scared of Lord Ghidorah, too. There's about to be a war, besides. Desertion's punishable by firing squad. They were right. War was fast approaching. This town was a clear target, incapable of avoiding a storm of battle. They think. The three knew all about the Empire's military might, and thus it hardly seemed worth the time to consider Tempest's chances against their enemy. So without anything else to do, Shinji and his friends gave up on the idea, and then, following their orders to the letter, they began challenging the labyrinth.
So cute.
Well,
Shinji began. They said the hero Masayuki just beat 450, but it's actually pretty damn easy, huh? Haha, Mark laughed. Of course it is! Remember what Yuki told us? He said Masayuki wasn't actually anything that special. But you can't play down his skill, Jin pointed out. Yeah, all the more reason he was super careful, I bet. It took him over half a year, after all. This lively chat between Shinji and his pals took place as they advanced through floor 40. They began their journey through the dungeon, on high alert for anything in their way. But the intensity was starting to wear off. It was just too easy. Before going in, they gathered as much intel as they could to avoid needless danger. But as the trio saw it, this was like a game packed with tons and tons of side quests and bonus content. Jin grew up without much in the way of video games, but Shinji and Mark were hardcore gamers. Shinji was a big fan of RPGs in particular, finding time between research stints in college to play through the big franchise titles.
Yeah! Somebody who finally understands the dungeon!
Pooling their knowledge, the trio concluded that this dungeon was a huge joke. Whichever sadistic maniac designed it was clearly out to destroy the challengers. But if you were familiar with video game tropes, a lot about it was familiar. This held especially true in one way. Jin Lu Jing was gifted at detecting traps, and with his advice, they could find them all with surprising accuracy. In this labyrinth, if you could deal with the traps, the monsters just weren't all that strong. Bet a lot of challengers had trouble getting far this just because it's too new. Like, nobody's got the right knowledge for it. Yeah, I called it an obstacle course earlier, but that still sounds pretty right to me. Once you understand how the creator's twisted evil minds works, it's actually pretty doable. And we don't die either. They found out about the resurrection bracelet on their prior research. The admission desk even gave them one for free. Without it on, if you died in the dungeon, you'd be warped back to the front door safe and sound. Oh, with it on. Yeah. When they heard about this, Shinji's team exchanged quizzical stares. It was really hard to figure out how to take this. Here was this dead serious world they lived in, and now someone had created this wacky comedy world inside it. Now the main issue they faced was not knowing just how deep the dungeon went.
It's like someone's trying to escape from reality.
They could keep advancing all they wanted, but they could only hold so much food at once. Shinji wasn't sure how best to prepare for this, but over at admission, the guy at the desk told them about something unexpected. Oh yeah, no worries about that. When you reach a stairway, you'll see an entrance to the inn. To the inn. It'll cost you money, but you can stay in there all you want. You actually don't have to worry about the food that much. Either, sir.
About
food that much either. Yeah. God damn it. Ah.
Commas and periods.
Sir Rimuru, I saw the comma and I'm like, oh, it's a longer sentence. Fuck. Sir Rimuru said all refreshments are under 300 yen. His words, not mine. I don't know what he meant by yen, but I'm sure it's something important, you know? Oh, and there are merchant traders stationed at the inn too, and they'll buy anything you find, but don't eat. They literally thought of everything. Shinji cared a lot more about buying actual food than just light refreshments, but he didn't want to shout that out and be accused of insulting the leader of Tempest. So he kept that frustration to himself. It had now been a week since they began navigating the labyrinth. The three of them were at a room in the inn, relaxing as they gazed at the booty they won. Booty.
Listen here, you sick son of a bitch.
Is it me or are we making a ton of money the past few days? And this inn's supposed to be a bare bones joint, but it's actually pretty nice. Cheap, too. And the money from the equipment we don't need has to be really adding up now, huh? Oh, was that Mark? Shit.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever. Mark was clearly enjoying himself. Jin lifted his head up a bit at this, a little curious. Shinji, in response, took a roll of gold coins out of his bag, their golden shine attracting the eyes of everyone in the room. This wasn't just the money they earned for selling items from monsters and chests. Between that and the reward money for bounty hunts and the like, they had obtained several dozen gold coins, and even one stellar. It was a laughably high pay scale. Yeah, we've saved up quite a bit. And from what I've heard, since not even the frontline dungeon runners have made it past floor 50 yet, only Masayuki's party has reached that point. So that makes us number 2. Even Masayuki and his team were reportedly stalled at floor 60, right? Floor 60, right then. Even Masayuki and his team were reportedly stalled at floor 60 right then, and everyone else was getting blocked by the boss monster on floor 40. Thanks to that, Shinji's party had won the Dungeon Party of the Month award. Fuck me. God, these sentences.
They be tough, yo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? That's where the Tempest Serpent is, right? He was pretty strong, but still, nothing we couldn't handle. The Tempest Serpent was an A- foe in rank, one that'd give even seasoned adventurers fits. Its dangerous ranged breath attack was a menace in cramped quarters. There was nowhere to run, so you had to face up to the monster. Okay. But the snake's body was tough as metal.
All right, everybody, I need you to stop what you're doing for a moment. And stretch. We got a stretch incoming. There we go. And hydrate. We gotta hydrate to redeem.
Get my lemonade.
There we go. All right, they have been redeemed.
Yes. Okay.
Good stuff.
Where was I? Breath attack as metal. And if he coiled it around you, it was all over. You'd normally want to be on high guard against it, but Shinji's team managed to defeat it without too much of a fuss. What amazed them wasn't the monster's strength, but what they obtained after defeating him. So, what's with this weapon? The one with a slot in it? Because it got a praise for this crazy high price. Oh, boy.
That's right. We're dealing with materia now, baby.
Yep.
I feel
so
like
high, Shinji noted.
I'm sorry. I feel like at this point, it's like Ghidorah's realizing how strong Rimuru is, and then we're also having this party, the scout party, be like, making a lot of money off of this. Like, why do I just keep doing this? And then Ghidorah's like, I'm done. I know there's a war coming up. I was like, how is this war going to continue at this point?
Oh, by the way, I haven't officially introduced you guys. Like, officially introduced you guys. So, guys, please welcome the newest members of the Fat Dog crew. And I mean actual Fat Dog crew. So I would like to properly officially introduce our two newest members of the Fat Dog writing crew. So Moonlight Sparks and Sonic Speed are
Hello.
two newest writers to the Konosuba writing team. So last week we sat down and hashed out some ideas and figured out the narrative storyline that we're going to be telling for Konosuba. So we already had scenes written out for Konosuba. And we went over the scenes and everything, and they kind of agreed that they were really funny. And they were like, "Oh, you could basically tell a story with it." I was like, "Yeah, but we don't have a narrative. Like, we don't know where we're going.
Have a beginning, middle, end. Well, we have a middle, sort of. You had a middle, but no beginning or end.
We have funny stuff, but we don't know. We don't know where we're going.
We have a story.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't have an overall narrative for it. And then like with the help and bouncing some ideas around, we came up with a narrative.
We have fixed the ending. We have an ending in mind.
And I like the idea that we came up for our narrative. And I will, after a couple of days of getting some stuff figured out, and settled in here and getting all that taken care of, I'm going to sit down and actually do my effing job and start typing out Konosuba. So guys, coming up sometime this month, we will be finishing up. I'm pleased to let you know that Calvin and I, in June, will be finishing up Slime 9 and getting that motherfucker out to you in June. So Slime 9 coming June. I don't know what date. I don't have a specific
this
date,
June.
but coming in June, you guys will be getting Slime 9. So there you go. And we will be finishing up Konosuba. Someone say Calvin. Yes, we did say Calvin. Calvin and I will be finishing up Slime 9 and getting that ready. And, well, it'll be Calvin, Ray, and I will all be finishing up Slime 9 and getting that out to you. I'm sorry it has taken almost 2 years. That is way too long for you guys to have been waiting, and we apologize. And no amount of time that you guys have been waiting is going to make up for that. It could have been gold, and that would not have made up for how long you guys have waited. So we apologize, and we know it's never going to be good enough. I'm sorry. I could put it up right now without any sound effects. It's been sitting there. Dude, we've literally been sitting on it for months, and it hasn't had sound effects, but we just needed... Literally, we needed credits. That's all we've been waiting on for months. We've needed a song to put on the credits, and we've been waiting on that. But it's objectively not. Objectively, it's not. It's been... We literally released Slime 8 in July of 2021. When I realized that, I was like, no wonder people are asking us if we just stopped doing slime. No, we haven't. We need to put out episode 9. And then we need to get to work on season 2 after Konosuba. Like, we really need to work on season 2. And we need to take a couple of months to, like, slowly get everybody recorded and get them paid. If we have to do it piecemeal, we will do it piecemeal, but we will get everybody paid however we have to go about doing it. But yeah.
Later. I think they're picking up background.
Sorry. No, nobody's hearing it. Discord's being good about not picking up your background. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I wanted to officially introduce you as part of the cast and crew. So part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Yeah. There is one question I'm going to ask you about the Konosuba writing. I won't say it here because it's kind of spoilery, but off stream.
Okay. No, you can't roll a natural 20. I won't let you.
Damn. Yeah. All right, that's one question out of the way. Now then there's the other one.
The actual important stuff. I'm sorry for
the actual important question.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled reading of words in proper order because that's what we do.
That's literally the first 2 words. So high, Shinji noted, that he was too afraid to sell it. These weapons with slots began to appear around floor 40. and they were like nothing they had seen in the Empire, so Shinji's party couldn't understand the premium. They could sell them for a high price, but they honestly weren't sure whether they should. The recessed slots, though. My appraisal magic didn't turn up anything. Maybe we better keep them until Lord Ghidorah shows up. Yeah, we didn't find any until 440, so... Right, yeah. We've only seen them in boss chambers and as drops from the stronger monsters around floor 50. You know, though, we saw them around town too, didn't we? They were pretty rare, but they're circulating. People say there's a tiny chance you'll find them in a chest from floor 30 on. Yeah, and it's clearly a good make. But is it really worth those prices? Is there some secret to them? I'd guess so. The merchants don't tell us anything either. Kinda smile at us. This is so suspicious. We better not pull the trigger until the old man shows up. But hey, look at this thing. Mark picked up his, Minos Bardish poleaxe and showed it off to his friends. It gleamed a beautiful silver, an exquisite showpiece made of mithril. This put it in the realm of unique weapons. They'd picked it up from a treasure chest guarded by the floor 50 guardian. This is a unique, you know? You don't even see these in the Empire too much. He must have liked it a lot. His companions wondered if he'd start hugging the poleaxe and bringing it to bed with him. But it was a nice piece. Becoming an Imperial Guardian granted you access to a set of Legend-class gear, but any officers and...
Yeah.
God help me. Any officers and enlistees below that got normal sturdy, non-magical equipment. Unique gear was hard to find, even for career officers, so Mark could be excused for his excitement. Yeah, Yuki told me the Empire mass-produces its weapons, and we hardly even get to see it, but supposedly the Legend-class gear is all identical. Is that even possible? Oh, that was... whatever. Jin was asking Shinji in essence, whether it was possible to manufacture legend gear on any kind of scale. Logically, it was said to be unthinkable. That's kind of jumping the gun, isn't it, Shinji? No, that's probably American. That's kind of jumping the gun, isn't it, Shinji?
That's kind of gumping the
Just
jum,
because it all looks the same.
That's gumming the jum, isn't it? Chum?
God.
Chum.
Just because it all looks the same doesn't mean there's a factory or something. Mark laughed off Shinji's idea, perhaps a bit miffed by the subject was turning away from his new prize. If there was a factory, he thought, it'd lower the value of the unique in his hands. Well, you couldn't manufacture these any normal way. Lord Ghidorah told us how hard it is to produce a lot of magisteel at once, even. But if you can keep things under the right conditions, it's not impossible. The right conditions? Yeah, basically you need someplace with a super high concentration of magicules, like enough that it instantly kill most people, even if you're B rank. It'd kill you given enough time. If you're above an A rank, all it'll do is make you really sick. So if you can put a sword or armor in there for a long time, like hundreds or thousands of years, those are the right conditions to make it evolve. Then, once the equipment finds an owner it accepts, it'll start doing its own unique evolution. Oh, like you'll find that kind of place. Yeah, I doubt you would either. Right? But Yuki and Lord Ghidorah said they exist. Okay, but so what if it's just possible? Well, you know, I'm starting to wonder if this Bardish was mass-produced, too. No way. You wouldn't think, would you? But there's a slot in this axe. Have you ever seen one of these out in the wild? No. What's with that, anyway? It's a pretty weapon. Kind of eerily shaped, but... Shinji wasn't out to complain. He wasn't jealous of the overjoyed Mark. Neither he nor Jin would wield large weapons the size of Bardish's anyway. But the way they're just giving these weapons away to people... Is it me, or is the nation more insanely powerful than we thought? Mm-hmm. Mark and Jin fell silent. They were feeling the same way. After he won that Minos Bardish, Mark was even worried they'd confiscate it at the front counter. They knew the rules dictated that anything you found in the labyrinth belonged to the challenger. But a weapon this strong? Would a nation really allow you to waltz out the door with it? If Tempest took it away, Mark and his friends were prepared to accept that. They were beholden to Tempest at the moment, and they had to respect the nation's decisions. That's something that applied anywhere. Besides, they were technically spies, and no spy would go out of their way to stir up trouble. But the reception they got was beyond any exception. All the employees on the front desk area applauded them, shouting "Congratulations!" in unison. Even more astoundingly, they gave the party another cash bonus. The party didn't really need any more evidence by this point. Tempest really was a crazy land. And even outside of the weapons, this whole nation's nuts, isn't it? It's a shock. I mean, we could earn a ton of money just beating this dungeon. And it'd be more fun that way. And it'd be more fun that way, too. Like, do we really stand to lose anything? If you're a wimp, it'd be hard to make a living off this. But with us? No, Mark. No, Mark. Remember what Jin said about desertion? Firing squad. Right, yeah. There is that. But still, I think it'd be so much more fun to live here. Oh, no, that wasn't... Okay, whatever. Shinji and Jin nodded at Mark's words. But, whatever. But reality...
It's all good.
Screw it.
But reality didn't work that way. It was certainly an inviting idea, but they couldn't go pursuing this pipe dream all day. And you know, the war's gonna wreck this. And you know the war's gonna wreck this place anyway. Yeah, I mean, if Tempest does win, I'll gladly switch sides. But what kind of nation's gonna accept a deserter and a traitor, you know? Tempest?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose everything. They all sighed, figuratively abandoning their sweet dreams. It was time to mentally switch gears, and soon. Their thoughts shifted to the next day's dungeon hacking. Okay, so we're gonna head for floor 50 tomorrow.
51.
That point on, people called...
51.
Yeah, did I... Oh, fuck.
You said
51
50.
tomorrow.
50.
Fuck! That point on, people call the Haven of the Dead. Mark's Minos Bardish is made from mithril with the holy attribute, so it ought to perform well against undead and ghosts and stuff. Yeah, that's the other weird thing, you know? This whole place really is set up like a video game. Like, having the boss guard the one key thing for tackling the next section. And the challenge amps up step by step. Shinji picked up on this as well. He was the biggest RPG player in the group, so it occurred to him long before anyone brought it up. But he tried to banish the thought. It was just too creepy, because a lot of it was so familiar. And if anything, the boss monsters stationed every 10th level were getting harder way fast. First was the B-rank Black Spider, then the B-plus Evil Centipede. Floor 30 featured a B-plus Ogre Lord leading a small force of minions working together, making it more than a test of brute strength. This was a choke point for many parties. Floor 40 had an A- Tempest Serpent, and finally, floor 50 had Bovix, a talking magic-born toroid. By this point, you were now talking about monsters who maybe showed up once every 100 years. A hazard to use the danger level. A hazard every 100 years. A hazard to use the danger level Yuki devised, which made it an A ranker. Certainly, Bovix was a menace, the kind of magic-born you'd expect to be serving a demon lord, and while Shinji's team had trouble, they still beat him. If they were really serious, chances were just one of them could have done it. Besides, since you didn't die in the labyrinth, you had the freedom to try some pretty reckless tactics. Right. If a monster of that class is guarding floor 50, I can only guess that the next one's going to be that much stronger. Might even be the last battle. Mark agreed with Shinji. Whatever. Jin, brooding hard over the future, things had gone smoothly up to now, but all three agreed that it turned into an uphill battle pretty quick. I think Mark's going to remain the key to our offense. You got a unique with special buffs, so let's just see how far it'll take us. Yeah. And I don't think you can collect many more monsters this powerful either. I think floor 60 is the bottom of this thing, but if it's not, that's just scary. Oh, no way, said Shinji, but he'd heard ominous rumors. Rumors he had no intention of telling Mark and Jin. He was sure it'd lower their morale if they heard this labyrinth might actually have 100 floors.
Actually say.
The next boss was concerning for him. But he wasn't going to get worked up about it. He figured they would win at the end of it. They couldn't die, after all, but it was likely to be a long, hard ordeal. But hey, we can't die either way. Let's just try to keep our guard up. Mark and Jen nodded at this. Their goal was the very bottom, and to find out about the top secret research facility there. Once they went over everything a final time, they retired for the night. I hope they get to Veldora. I want them to get to Veldora.
That'd be
want
hilarious.
them to feel the fear.
I
want that so much.
Oh, if you want them to feel the fear, if you really want them to feel the fear, let them encounter the real dungeon bosses.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's right. Some of them are missing.
Starting with floor 60. Yeah.
They surpassed Masayuki's group then after this point, right?
Once they get to 60, yes, they will.
Oh,
Masayuki is right at 60.
So, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Floor 60 is a little different.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, it seems like we're about to get there, but they're okay.
We are.
3 days passed. Yep. 3 days passed. After conquering a poisonous swamp and a corroded wasteland, Shinji's team finally discovered the stairs to floor 59. They were a short trip down to floor 60, and that much closer to the boss's chamber. It had taken a week to reach floor 50, but nearly half that again to get to 60. The size of each floor was shrinking, but the difficulty had ratcheted up to overdrive. You guys ready for this?
Here we go.
Yep. Yeah. They had rested up the previous night. They were fully prepared, ready to take the challenge. So they say the boss...
They know Veldora is in Tempest. That's public knowledge.
Yeah, they just don't know where.
They just don't know where.
Wait, who is the boss of... Oh, wait, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
We
The
just
boss
talked
of
about...
floor 60?
I was about to say... I was thinking, it's not the skeleton guy, is it? It's like,
Oh, yeah. But they don't know that.
This could be
It's
good.
the White King.
So they say the boss here is another guardian type, like on floor 50. We can expect another sentient monster. Right, a lot more trouble than the Death Lord yesterday. Gotta go all out from the start. As long as they kept their cool, this boss would go down like the others. All three thought so as they quietly nodded. Then, ever so carefully, they opened the door and swarmed inside.
All right, Sonic, your turn.
Let's go back in time a little bit, shall we?
God damn it. Embellishing already, I see.
Yeah. I was in my chamber, debating with myself over our surveillance system.
This is Rimuru.
I know. Right then, Soe and Moss's agents were on standby at important points across the forest of Jura. We were also covering the entire coastline from Farmas to northern Inglesia. Excuse me. And even the mountain peaks in between. But despite that, I was still anxious about our intelligence gathering. For me, the time lag was the scariest thing. Our agents were spread out in teams of 2, but there were always sorry, dinner and dessert. But there was every chance they could both be killed at once. If so, all intelligence would cease from that location. I hate to lose those people, but the reassuring delay in transmission could put the entire nation in jeopardy. I warned so... Is Shem on?
No.
What was that? His motorcycle guy found you.
Oh, no, that was mine. Sorry.
Oh. He wasn't on, so we had to find someone else. Anyway, I hate to lose those people, but the resulting delay in transmission could put the entire nation in danger. I warned Selway about this in no uncertain terms. Even if our monitors were found, whether they were killed or not, they might be forced into battle. That, again, would cause delays. So I was feeling around for a way they could work with while keeping themselves safer. As I did, I stumbled upon the idea of using magic to survey our lands. Distant view magic like this extended into the shamanistic family? Is that right? Shamanistic? Whatever. Shamanistic family. But it turned out to be the kind of but it turned out to be kind of tough to wrangle.
Spider, I'm making a pun. You're saying peak as in peak, and I'm saying peak as in mountain, the peak of a mountain. So pun.
The top, if you will.
We have reached peak fiction here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, peak. All right. Anyway, shamanistic. Yes.
Shamanistic. Yep.
Was
Okay.
right.
Okay. All you could really do was view a target, and it didn't give you too much information about them. It could also focus only on a single point, so you had to cast the spell again to watch somewhere else. This took valuable time, and your target could slip away in the meanwhile. The magic just wasn't flexible enough for the job. Besides, if the target put up a magical barrier, the distance view spell would simply bounce off it and dissipate. Thus, I concluded the spell was useless unless you couldn't observe foes from above a certain level of power with it. But I had another idea. The physical magic Megiddo. That's an interesting one.
It's the attack that he actually used on the Falmouth army.
The camp, like that whole camp.
Yeah.
The actual
Megiddo
attack that he used in season 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, where he actually used water to create lenses that would
for the sun
that would reflect and refract the sunlight to make lasers and just lay waste to the entire army. Yeah, that's
so like I kind of figured that's like the Frieza death. That was the Frieza death beam.
That was
Don't worry, King. I'll go get help for you. Yes, do that. Step.
Fortnite headshot sound effect.
That's literally death rays. However, he's now using it to create spy TV.
Surveillance.
He's literally using it to create Google Earth.
So he has a water reflective surface that he uses distance view to look at.
He's literally doing satellite imagery.
Ah.
Yeah, he's literally making satellite imagery from anywhere.
Is it funny? It's funny too because he basically has Google in his back pocket.
Well, no, not really. This is just crazy. He's kind of taking his skills and his abilities and like his otherworldly knowledge to basically kind of survey the land and spy on his enemies and his allies as if he had satellite access. So it's kind of amazing like that. Yeah.
Is Tempest going to be the first people on the moon? The first slime on the moon?
What is this? Some kind of car for ants? Anyway, sorry. Anyway.
Where was I?
Megiddo uses
Megiddo uses collected water droplets as a lens to focus sunlight on a single point.
There you go.
Reworking this magic, I thought I could make it work as a kind of surveillance spell, which you already explained pretty much. For example, what if we floated up balls of water across the land that reflected the area below it? If we could transcribe that somehow, we could easily check on faraway scenery. If not, perhaps we could project an image through a high-altitude lens, expanding and broadcasting the signal through a monitor. We need a combination of a telescopic lens, photograph device, and a system for transmitting the information. Essentially, it was like building a monitor satellite entirely with magic. Richie, you spoiled the whole thing here!
Not my problem, I explained it better than the book did.
Yeah, you summed it up. Making all the required core magic seem like a hassle, but Raphael stated that with physical magic, spirit magic, and dominant space, it'd be possible to implement. After all, I just needed to work out a little. Oh, after that, I just needed to work out the little details with Raphael, and with that, I had the complete magic I wanted.
Oh yeah,
satellite
just pull
magic.
Out the fucking magic calculator. Let me do all the fucking work.
But you're so good at it.
You're goddamn right I am.
Thank you. We'll call it satellite magic.
Yeah, once again, I have to pull out the actual like calculations and physics and all that. Meanwhile, you just asked me to perform fucking magical bullshit.
Like I said, you're so good at it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Go name another 10,000 monsters and suffer the consequences.
Play with, murder, same thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Once this monitoring system was finished, it'd be a lot easier to gather information. It was safe, reliable, and collected a massive amount of data at once. And it made it a breeze to keep up with enemy movements, no matter what they did.
Yeah. Can you imagine somebody trying to march in on his territory discreetly now?
Oh yeah, you could just imagine
when he literally can see what's happening all over Tempest.
I see everything.
Like literally, this motherfucker has a live feed Google Maps of what's happening on Tempest.
You also have, because we gotta remember, this is the same technique that basically freezes death lasers. If he could see through that stuff too, imagine looks like we got a bogey at Sector 9.
No. He's reworked it. This can't actually use the Megiddo lasers.
Oh, so it can't do. Okay.
No, it can't do the laser stuff. This is literally just a viewing. This is literally just a viewing platform. But it.
I thought it because it was based off that spell.
Megiddo was the building structure for it, but it's been reworked. It can't do the lasers. But it can tell you.
That'd be cool.
It can tell you more than just what's going on the ground. It can tell you what's going on in the air. So if people are trying to be sneaky and stealthy and fly shit through the air above Tempest, he knows what's going on there too.
Oh, I was gonna say weather prediction with that, but yeah.
No. Well, I mean, he could probably do that too, but yeah. But I mean,
you could probably just ask Menu for.
But literally, there's plenty of monsters that can do that already. Okay. They have those abilities.
Hey, Raphael, is it gonna rain today? Literally.
I don't know.
Bitch, I am the most powerful supercomputer in the world, and that's what you ask me?
Bitch, you already have species that work under you that literally already have that information. Ask them. And they're closer to where the storm fronts begin. Shut the fuck up.
Go ask Veldor. He's literally named the Storm Dragon.
I don't know if he can predict the weather. Don't you have a telepathic link to Veldora?
Yeah, I also have a telepathic link to
Rimuru, you want to know about the weather.
Ask me anything you want to know. Is it gonna rain today?
What? Would you like it to?
God damn it. No. Yeah, exactly. I was asking if it was going to.
I will make it rain red with the blood of your enemies.
That's fine, Veldora. I don't need it to rain today. I was going to go to the lake.
You wish to make it rain? Follow me to the strip club.
All right, you know what? Maybe that one I would be okay with. That kind of rain's okay.
All right. Anyway.
Let's go look at the elves.
Then Shuna's like, Lord Rimuru, where are you going?
Fishing.
The House of Lady Favors.
Oh, God damn it.
So let me get this straight. You gonna go fishing with the Lady Favors? Yes.
Anyway.
I was going to the elf house to ask if they wanted to fish with me and Veldora. Okay. It's whew.
But Rimuru, I thought we were... Shut up!
Shut up, Veldora! Do not make me steal you back in.
I will spoil every fucking book.
I will spoil that manga you're really interested in. You're waiting on the next volume on.
Anyway, so moving on.
Where were we?
I don't know.
Hold on. Once the monitoring system, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Okay. Once the monitoring system was finished, it'd be a lot... Okay, blah, 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 blah. Made a breeze with enemy movements.
Are you kidding? If you take Shion with her, literally put 2 drinks in, and she's the next dancer up on stage. Let's be real. You give this girl 2 shots, and she's pole dancing immediately.
Shots.
She wouldn't be using the pole. She would just stick her sword in the ground.
And dance with that, yeah.
And then just start dancing with that.
She would be out of line, but he's right.
No. She would get jealous and go up and pole dance.
It's like, look, I could dance. Wait, Reamer was so enamored with these. I could do it better. Just as she's drunk.
It's like, oh god. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
It was safe, reliable, collected a massive amount of data at once and made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think we got past enemy movement, no matter what they did.
Anyway.
Now, you might be wondering why I was wasting time during such a busy period with this, but this was actually really important. Those who control information control the world, as they say.
Mm-hmm. So
I was sure I could control a war with it, too. During the Russo-Japanese War, Admiral... Oh, God, more names. Hijikataro?
Heihachiro.
Heihachiro, thank you.
Heihachiro.
Togo.
Right? Togo, right. Yep. Admiral Hirai... Oh, God, I've lost the name.
Why did you try to read the whole fucking thing? You could have just moved
Because I want to do it right!
No. You kind of got it, and you should have moved on.
Admiral Toga there commanded his naval forces as Togo. Admiral Togo commanded his naval forces as it destroyed Russia's Baltic fleet in the Sea of Japan. In this fight, the key question for Togo was whether he had a chance to encounter the enemy fleet. He had to guess at where he'd intercept the enemy and be in position to engage them. If he messed that up, the battle never would have been fought, and Japan would likely have lost the war. That, I felt, was similar to my current situation. If I spread my forces too thinly, there'd be a good chance I'd lose, given how much I was outnumbered to start with. Victory came down to whether I could read the Empire's moves and concentrate our forces at the most suitable points of land. Meanwhile, if the Empire spread itself too thin, I could work out my plans in further detail and destroy every pocket of resistance. But if I wanted to work the battle to my advantage like that, and most of all, if I wanted to be sure of victory, I absolutely had to complete this monitoring magic. Which, I tried to build the drama there, but we actually had a test setup already complete. What I was asking Raphael for now was a little extra frills, a little thing that could make it easier to use. What? Why don't I just do it myself? Don't be silly. Raphael is my skill, so by anyone's definition, I am putting in all the hard work.
Bullshit.
Yeah, there we go. I knew you were going to comment on that. You know what? If you put it that way, I think I've been overworking myself a little.
Fuck you.
I think I'll take a quick rest to soothe my fatigue. I had my first cupful of Shuna's tea in a while, savoring the moment. As I relaxed, wondering if I should give my completed monitoring magic a shot, Sir Rimuru, I have urgent report for you. That's a...
Beretta's strained
voice. Yeah.
Yep.
Beretta's strained voice came through a thought communication. All the dots.
Mm-hmm.
He had quite a surprise for me. It turned out a second party had made it past floor 50. The first one, it goes without saying, was led by Masayuki. They were taking a break from the dungeon as we prepared for war, but they made it as far as floor 59. And thanks to them, our labyrinth was running a brisk business. Tons of challengers used our service on a daily basis, filling up our coffers. And they got a lot out of it too, of course. Over the past year, our regular customers had really been stepping up their game. Little by little, they had begun to see more people take on levels in the 30s. Some were coming up with strategies that took advantage of the no-death rule, such as zombie attacks, continually dying and coming back to fight the enemy again, and sacrifice runs, leaving someone behind to get preyed upon as the rest of the party forged onward. Once you were in the 30s, though, you had more than just unfamiliar insta-kill traps to deal with. The monsters there began working in teams, and gimmickry tactics weren't as effective any longer. But some of our dungeon runners really were up to the challenge. Parties taking a strictly conventional approach still struggled to keep up, but they were honing their skills, and their equipment was improving by leaps and bounds too. That, in turn, helped to strengthen them further. It's funny what your body can get used to. Some runners began to develop instincts for traps, dodging them no matter how vicious they were. Thanks to that, the front runners party had started reaching the boss monster on floor 40. But for now, that was the last step for most. The monster they faced there was a Tempest Surface, an A- creature. That was this very same black snake I first ran into way back when packing an effective breath attack that just annihilated parties. Many of them got destroyed, lost all their equipment, and tearfully trudged into the shops to buy more. We'd be kind enough to lend them Tempest brand equipment and the like on a you break it, you bought it policy. Of course. That in turn into another nice income stream. Oh yeah, thanks Black Snake. That little reptile was great for shaking our challengers down for all the profit they made up to that point. It was such a wonderful, reliable money-making guardian for us. But oh, death should not have taken thee, Black Snake. That, and even
You did that wrong. He was like, but oh, death should not have taken thee, Black Snake.
Oh, okay. But oh, death should not have taken thee, Black Snake. There we go.
There you go.
Over dramatic with it.
Yeah, you go.
That, and even our guardian on floor 50 got done in. With Masayuki's party, hang on. That, and even our guardian on floor 50 got done in. With Masayuki's party, we're admittedly cheating a little bit, but this new party must have been real legit. We had to award them the bounty as well, but it was more than worth it for all the free advertising. The entire labyrinth lit up again once upon the birth of a new set of heroes, and now things seem busier than ever.
Than before. Ever before.
Oh, and things seem busier than ever before.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you add words that were never there, and then you miss words that were there entirely.
I don't know why. It's like, I'm feeling like I'm nailing it, I'm killing it, and then it's like, why did I add that? Why did I do that? And then I reach a name, and I'm like, oh no.
No.
But I do challenge your approaches.
Yeah. All right.
I'm getting better with it. But...
You are.
Oh.
I'm on it.
Hi, Alexa.
Gotta take your medicine. Gotta take your pills.
Here's the good news. This is how you know that everything has been set up, because I am being told by my Echo Dot what to do. So you know it's connected, hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and everything's running like it's supposed to. So, yay.
Woo! All right. Oh, we're getting to the good part here. We're catching up, back up to the present.
All right. Let's get this going.
All right, let's do it. Floor 50 was defended by a pair of sentient Magicborn. Bovik, the Toroid? Yeah. And
Hemorrhoid.
No, that's not the other person.
Hemp.
And Equinox, the Equinon, right?
Equinon. Wait, hold on.
Okay, Bovik the Tartaroid.
Equinoid.
Equix the Equinoid, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, try saying that 3 times fast.
No.
Who took turns serving as the boss? I ordered them to do the job, and neither was a pushover at all. So seeing someone pull off the upset amazed me. After all, if no one was around to challenge them, they usually sparred each other, helping aid more creative creativity to their battle approach. I was witnessing some real intelligent strategies in their fights now. They weren't just big brutes any longer. What's more, they had become best friends, no longer snapping at each other all the time. This second party's success reminded me that I put, frankly, pretty awesome prize in place for beating floor 50. You only got it the first time you beat the boss, but it was a guaranteed drop from the treasure chest. One item picked at random from the unique class Minos series. I named this after the mythical labyrinth guardian Minotaur, and they were both completely insane looking and stupidly powerful. In the weapon department, we offer the Minos Bardus, thank you, and the Minos Trident. There was no shield and armor filled out the rest of the list. There was no shield and armor filled out the rest of the list. I figured it'd be a while before someone made it this far. Oh, a while longer. Oops. Oh yeah, I did miss that word. You're right. Before anyone made it this far. So I don't think I had more than, 10 complete sets made up. But this was definitely top of the line gear. A team effort crafted by the best of Karabe's apprentices. Karobe. I need to have a pronunciation for names. She is like, all right, these are all the names you're gonna have to worry about. Here you go. Losing one of them was a problem, but what impressed me more was this team's party's fighting skills. Bovic and
Bovis and
Equix. Oh, jeez.
Bovix. It's not Beavis
Bovic.
and Butthead. Bovix.
Bovix and Equix got a lot stronger when I named them. And if they managed to beat one of them, I'd honestly want to recruit them for our nation. If they said no, they might be our enemy someday. And that would kind of suck. So I planned to keep them under surveillance. That was why I left instructions to inform me immediately if Bovix or Equix ate it. And that's what I got from Beretta just then. Who are they?
No.
Who are they? The winning team is a party of 3 people, all possessing unique skills. Maybe I know them? It turns out I didn't. So here we had a set of just 3 guys, unique skill users, who beat Bovix. And they were pretty brand new to the dungeon, too. Not veterans at all. In times of peace, I just sit back and marvel. But we were all War Eve right now.
At War's Eve.
Oh, we were all at War's Eve right now. And in my eyes, they were likely spies picking at low-hanging fruit.
Alright, so can't pull the wool over Rimuru's eyes on this one. This is way too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Even the naive Rimuru sees this one.
We needed more intel on them badly. So I delayed my magic monitor practice and headed for the command room inside the labyrinth.
Alright. I found Ramirez and Veldora already there. Dino and Vester had the day off, apparently. Vester really had been looking haggard lately. Dino not so much. So I wanted him to get as much rest as he could. Ramirez and Veldora, meanwhile, couldn't have been better. I'm not sure they even knew how to be tired. They never stopped, like children. If something had their attention, they just kept going. I love this next bit. This is so stupid. Well, look who's here! Hello, Commander! Chirped Ramirez. No changes to report yet. No changes to what? Oh, well. I'm sure she's just playing Navy captain in her mind. I looked at the large screen set up in the room. It currently showed 3 young men, the group who had been storming through the labyrinth. Their fighting style, I have to say, was extremely unique. One of them seemed to be grabbing the air itself, gathering and throwing it with intense force. Maybe some kind of air compression blast? Definitely not something a normal person could pull off. The man was large, firmly built with brown hair and a chiseled face. And he had a tank top and jeans. You read that right. A tank top and jeans. Definitely otherworlder fashion, I thought. Now for the other 2. One was small, skinny, and mostly hidden inside a large black robe. The other was a young man wearing chainmail and a lab coat over it. Yes, a lab coat. The kind you see in labs and hospitals. Although...
lab coat. Richie?
Give him a minute.
I told you you'd use it! I told you! Lab coat. I guess we're doing this.
This!
Lab coat!
Yeah!
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 Now I gotta wear it for the rest of the stream. Is that bit worth it?
Blame Moon.
Doctor?
This is his fault. And no, it wasn't worth it.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
You gotta do it for the memes. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor. Scalpel.
Doctor.
Scalpel.
Scalpel. Scalpel. Anyway. Do it for
Doctor,
the
can you fix my face?
You gotta do it for the vine. Alright, anyway.
Okay. The kind you see in labs and hospitals.
Yeah.
Lab coat.
Lab coat. Anyway. Although not at all in this world, his face suggested he was Asian and almost certainly Japanese. I couldn't guess about the dude in the robe, but lab coat and tank top sure seemed like otherworld. Otherworlders to me.
Yes.
Thank you. Regardless, they were still fighting as I watched on screen. They were facing a pretty tough challenge, a pack of 6 death wolves lunging at them faster than a normal person could respond. They must have calculated that remaining far away would leave them open to attack with no way to respond. Once you plunged below floor 50, even the minion-level foes had real intelligence. A death wolf, by the way, was a B-plus monster, and that was for a single one of them. 6 at once was an extremely dangerous encounter, and being a ghost type, they were impervious to melee attacks outside of holy or magic weapons. Their bodies were made entirely of magicules, so even if you sent them flying, they'd just regenerate themselves and jump back in. Unless you had a good way to handle them, you couldn't win. Show any weakness for a moment, and you'd be torn apart. But... don't mess with us, you stupid mutts! This was Tank Top, the air thrower. Now he took out the ominous-looking battle axe on his back and started swinging. A single swipe took out 3 at once, their bodies fading into pure particles of light. Whoa! That axe! I remembered that
I think you added in pure there, actually.
Did I? Fading
into
particles
fading
of
into
light.
particles.
Okay, fading into particles of light. Whoa, that axe! I remembered that ominous-looking thing. It's the Minos Bardish, isn't it? Once you got into the realm of uniques, magical force came with the package as a given. That made this a type of magic weapon, easily capable of damaging ghost types. The magic alone could hurt monsters all by itself. We also worked hard on the materials for that Bardish. If I recall, we made them out of mithril, a special mix of magisteel and silver. That instilled the holy attribute, geared for mowing down undead and ghost enemies. Man, the Minos Bardish really can take out those death wolves in one hit, I muttered. Yeah, I believe Bovix drops that weapon, Veldora replied with a nod. And look at how used to that weapon he is. So soon after picking it up, he's got a good head for battle. As I watched the trio fight, I listened to Veldora and Ramirez's recap. Veldora and Ramirez recap this party's progress for me. Would have been nice to have had some fries to snack on as I did.
Mm-hmm. Good thing I did.
God damn it. From how they put it, Tank Top had been defeating most of the monsters so far, and looking at him, I could believe it. He was strong. What about the traps, though? The guy in the black robe had a knack for quickly finding them, tipping off his 2 companions. Our trickier, more ingenious traps began popping up on floor 51, but as I looked on, Blackrobe accurately marked out the positions of each trap they encountered. It must have been his unique skill. He was the ideal man to bring with you on a dungeon run. Finally, Lab Coat had only taken action once. Really. According to my partners, during the battle against Bovix, Veldor's description of events was too cryptic to understand, so I asked Raphael to read out the labyrinth's past memories for me. When it brought them up, well, yeah, it was strange. All he really did was take a syringe out from a pocket, inject both of his partners, and then Bovix visibly slowed to a crawl. Was this some kind of status ailment? Understood. According to an analysis, the attack sustained by the subject Bovix involved a nerve poison. The room was filled with poison gas, preventing the movement of those not resistant to it. It is no longer in effect. God damn. So this dude literally poisoned the room, but the other two...
And he injected the guys with the antidote.
And injected his teammates
or
with
antibodies.
The antidote. Yeah.
You know, something a lab coat guy would do.
Yeah. Oh, poison gas? It looked like they could customize this gas for maximum lethality on the target, too. Heavily slowed, Bovix was easy pickings for Take Top. But Labcoat delivered the final blow, removing the silver scalpel from a shirt pocket and slicing through the jugular vein. Labcoat was the leader, it seemed, playing a control tower role instead of getting involved in actual combat much. He was good at it, too, capable of fighting if he needed to, so Tank Top up front was pretty much free to go wherever he wanted. It was a really intelligent, well-balanced party. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. It quietly opened up, revealing Shuna. She had brought along a file with information on these three people. Here's the immigration data we have on this trio. With a light bow, she handed me the piece of paper. Shinji, age 23, magician. Mark, age 26, warrior. Jin, age 17, huntmaster. It contained a brief list of their names and professions. Their profiles listed them as being from a small province of the Empire. When asked what brought them to Tempest, they said a merchant told them about the dungeon, and they came over to test their skill. Yeah, right. That was such a lie. Raphael, meanwhile, was giving me his own analysis. As Beretta said, each one of them had their own unique skill. The idea that these three had just happened to come together at the same time and form a party sounded pretty far-fetched to me. That and their listed professions piqued my interest. The term magician was reserved for advanced casters who learned at least 2 families of magic. In Shinji's case, this was spirit and elemental magic. Smart young man, for sure. A warrior, meanwhile, had to be a master of both weapons and martial arts, to be exact. 1 core martial art, and at least 1 weapon. This could be a sword, a bow, an arrow, or even throwing weapons like knives or stones. You were free to pick the one that suited you the most, but you then had to master the deepest levels of it. In Mark's case, he was a brawler with throwing weapon and polearm proficiencies, a real multifaceted talent. Finally, a huntmaster was the moniker applied to those in the pinnacle of the hunting profession. It required a mastery of bow hunting as well as formhide, one of the more difficult arts to learn. You also had to master the detect danger skill, and overall it took a lot more than raw talent to become a huntmaster. In a hunting guild, they were revered as reliable partners. There just weren't many people with trap and monster discovery skills, both a vital part of any search mission. Huntmasters pretty much always came from hunting-oriented clans, and it was an extremely difficult job to get into otherwise. So here we had 3 people with 3 esoteric high-level jobs forming a party. It was all but asking us to suspect them of something. These really look like spies who took the bait. Indeed. But would spies so blatantly take center stage like this? Oh, sorry. Indeed. But would spies so blatantly take center stage like this? Diablo, standing unnoticed in the background, picked up on my muttering. He had offered me assistance in magical development, eagerly awaiting my new ventures in monitoring magic, and me canceling our next meeting about it really set him off. His eyes told me he was resenting the on-screen trio for it, but I think he was judging them correctly. Oh, I was wondering that too. I thought it might be a diversionary tactic. Well, I'm doing it dramatically. Sorry, not.
Oh,
yeah, sorry. I thought it might be a diversionary tactic, but things are calm around town right now. It was certainly a very suspicious party, but all the information they gave seemed to be the honest truth. Would they be stupid enough to not cover their tracks at all? Or was this a clever feint, devised to make us start suspecting everything except for them? I'm sure you're overthinking this, Rimuru. I'm sure you're overthinking this, Rimuru, said Veldora. Aren't you always telling me that honesty is the best policy? Well, it is, but we need to figure out how to handle these challengers, replied Ramirez. Glad you guys don't have a care in the world. I truly began to envy Veldora and Ramirez for that, but oh well. No matter who they were, we had to watch out for them. Shinji was the black-haired man in the lab coat. I'm just going to assume he's using a fake name, but his real one is actually Shinji. Mark was the brown-haired tank top guy, and he did more than throw air around. Whatever it was, a monster corpse or a pebble on the ground, he could throw anything you could grab. I saw him throw a still-alive monster at a pack of skeletal warriors, crushing 2 of them, and it almost made me spit out my tea. He probably wasn't lying about his warrior job. I could tell by the way he expertly wielded his Minos Bardish, taking down one ghost after another. Zen was the black robe dude, and I was sure he could use his eyes to detect traps. I thought it was detect danger at first, but judging by how he could avoid any dangerous trap before it triggered, I figured a unique skill was granting him that. For most parties tackling floor 50 and below, not even the monsters were as vicious and dangerous as the traps. The undead didn't need to breathe, so we adjusted the air in those floors to make sure everything was normal. There were some oxygen-free chambers as well, ensuring a quick death even if you just stumbled in unawares. To this, we added poison lakes, acid swamps, rooms with corrosive gas, and so on and so forth. They damage both you and your equipment, making for a truly atrocious gauntlet for challengers to gnash their teeth about. Sorry. These were all ingenious traps that said a great deal about their creator's personality, and the whole concept of the floors past the 50th was to use them to keep people from advancing. But if someone could see through all of them, they were useless. What's more, Zen had an excellent sense of direction. He could easily find the shortest route through something, not letting rotating floors or anything else stop him. This whole labyrinth was meaningless to this trio. If anyone got hurt, Dr. Shinji could heal them. They could even disable poison, so I couldn't expect that to work too much. They may have only been a trio, but they couldn't have been better suited for deep dives. 3 days passed. Veldora, Ramirez, and I squealed with glee as we watched Shinji's party press on. No, we weren't watching for hints we could use for our own conquest. Really, we weren't. We were just watching them and all is all. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Uh-huh. Diablo was sitting in a corner of the room reading while Shion was learning some new baking skills from Shuna, who poured out more tea for us. Black tea with a pleasant apple flavor. Apple? Apple. By the way, Rimuru, Veldora began, you mentioned that they took the bait, but what do you mean by that? Huh? Oh, wait, you mean our conversation 3 days ago? Veldora's brain ran about as quickly as a dinosaur's sometimes, but then that made sense for him. Don't worry about that. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. Tell me. He never usually cared about stuff like this, but today he just wouldn't get off my back. Whatever. Okay, well, to tell the truth, I decided to lay it on him. When I said they took the bait, that's exactly what I meant. We had added some evacuation training earlier because it had become possible for us to, as nutty as it seemed to me, sequester the entirety of the town inside the dungeon. Yeah. They could literally take the whole fucking town and put it in the dungeon.
I mean, the dungeon itself could arguably be a whole nother town. So.
Moon, you okay?
I kind of fallen asleep a bit.
Yeah, I noticed.
I thought that.
This is your waking hours, so I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I didn't sleep between Saturday and Sunday.
Oh my god. You gonna be okay?
I think I will be.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta stay awake until 7 a.m., so I might take a nap.
Okay. Well, at least wait till we end the stream before you take that nap.
That's the plan.
Okay.
We've only
got like a page, 1 or 2 pages left, and we should be good.
I feel like as soon as you turn off the stream, he's just gonna power down.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave the camera on everything.
To be fair, I probably will as well because I'm getting sleepy as well. I've got a few more things I've got to test. Oh my god! I'm really excited for this. Joe Freshest on his Patreon is checking out Bakuman. He started the first 2 episodes of Bakuman, and I'm really happy for that because that is my favorite series. As is evidenced by the fact that I have the whole ass fucking manga right behind me.
Oh wait, Bakugan, like the little
Bakuman.
Bakuman.
Oh, not Bakugan. Okay.
No, Bakuman. It is literally it is a series that is made by the 2 people that gave you Death Note. All right? Now, it's not dark like Death Note. It is literally a series about how manga gets made for Shonen Jump. But it takes place back in the 2000s, so it's before everything went digital. So it was back when stuff was on the cusp of becoming digital. But it's really interesting because it's about a pair of middle schoolers that decide that they are going to make manga for Shonen Jump. And then there's also a girl that is going to become a voice actor. And then it ends up you've got like these fresh up-and-comers in Shonen Jump that are friends but rivals, and you get like all these different manga artists, and there are editors that are actually real-life editors for Shonen Jump that work for Shueisha and Shonen Jump.
It's just Shonen Jump
that
just
are
based
real,
on the actual character.
Yeah,
based on real life events.
No, not necessarily real life events.
Real life characters.
Some of the actual editors that are referenced in there are actual people, because one of the actual editors, his profile picture is his actual character from Bakuman. He's like,
that's funny,
and he now works for Shonen Jump in the U.S. Well, he just recently retired. Cool. He just recently retired, but like, his profile picture was literally his Bakuman character. It was super cool.
Did they do a chapter about him retiring or
no? Bakuman's been over for a long time.
Oh, okay. So
and funny enough, one of the manga that they make is literally a series called Reversi, which is very, very Death Note-esque. Except instead of like Shinigami and a Death Note, it's literally two characters that make contracts with demons that end up having control over other people and using that power to kind of make a perfect world, but they end up clashing because they have opposing ideologies. It's so interesting. It's called Reversi, and they like just like all the manga that they make in this series are really, really good and really, really interesting. It's called Bakuman. It's out. You can find it online. I think it's on Hulu, or you can watch it on I don't know where all you can watch it. You can probably find it in so many different places. If it's on Hulu, you could probably end up watching it on Disney Plus if you got a VPN.
Let's see.
Bakuman.
Oh, B-U?
Baku.
B-A-K-U.
Uh-huh.
Yep, Bakuman. There it is.
It's probably on Hulu. Yeah.
Yep. Hulu.
Yeah, there it is. It's 75 episodes because it was 3 seasons, 25 episodes a season. And it was great.
3 seasons, yep.
Yeah, it was really good. Sadly, it only got it was only dubbed for 12 episodes. It only got a 12 episode dub, which was sad because it was really, really great.
Yeah, the first season's like 25.
Yeah. Only got 12 episodes dubbed, and it was dubbed by Media Blasters. Yeah.
That's an old one.
Yeah,
that sounds old.
That's a really old one.
That sounds old.
That's
like Blockbuster era.
I would love if it got picked up for dubbing by like Sentai or fucking Crunchyroll or somebody. Like if it got picked up by one of the big boys and they like properly did it, I'd love to see somebody do it. Anyway, good stuff.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up so Moon can sleep.
That's okay. Yeah.
As much as you want to gush, probably should.
I do want to gush. It is good. It is very, very good. Highly recommend the manga. It's a really good series. I don't know if it's on Shonen Jump or if it's on Manga Plus, but it's worth checking out. Such a good series. Anyway, it is literally a behind the scenes peek at how manga gets made. And they literally did a live
manga
action...
used to be made.
Well, no, I mean, if you just swapped it over to digital, it's still kind of how manga gets made.
If you just I know, but you said digital. Like earlier that was on the cusp of digital.
Before everything was digital, yeah. But I mean, there are still people that do pen and paper. But like, yeah,
it works.
Yeah, well, but I mean, some of the ways that people still make manga. It is. It just. Anyway.
Yeah, let's.
But
we can talk about it later.
It's still really good. Where was I? What was the thing I was at?
Once the town was quarantined.
Yeah,
I think
once the town was quarantined inside, it remained in there for 24 hours, but things like air and water supply weren't an issue. In fact, we could still see the sun, so I figured this quarantine wouldn't put much stress on our citizens at all. This took a gigantic amount of energy, of course, but so what? We got Veldora, so essentially, we were crafting our war plans based on the assumption that our town could be stowed away for safekeeping. This was something we tested out several times, and that was the bait meant to catch Imperial spies. All we left behind on the surface was the labyrinth's entrance gate, which had to look incredibly suspect. In my talks with Benimaru and the rest of my cabinet, we concluded that someone from the opposing side was bound to investigate. Ah, I see. Boy, my master's really powered me up, too, huh? Glad to see I'm pitching in a little, said Ramirez. So this is thanks to me, is it? Veldora looked at me, blatantly fishing for compliments. It drove me up a wall, but it really was thanks to him. Yeah, you've been a huge help to all of us. Veldora. Yes, I imagine I have been. So may I have some of that cake? No! I was looking forward to that slice. Please, take mine. Ah! Thank you, Diablo. Sorry about that. Not at all. If it will aid you, Sir Rimuru, this much is nothing. Such a big help, that one. Might as well indulge his graciousness this time. Savoring my slice of cake, I looked up at the screen. The party was about to take on the Guardian at the end of floor 60.
Ooh,
and now we're caught up.
Yeah.
Well.
And now, More of the same.
If we know they're spies, shouldn't we detain them? Nah, I want to test them out, so I figured we could see how far in they make it. I hate paying out so much money to them, but it's generating a lot of buzz, so I can live with it. If worse came to worse, I could always arrest them and confiscate their winnings. I wanted to look incredibly generous for now, paying what I promised and then wring whatever I could from them in exchange. A fine plan, Rimuru. It's so dirty. You're a true genius, you know that? Veldor and Ramirez also had kind words for me, although I can't say they made me feel too happy. Shuna, meanwhile, just rolled her eyes at us. So here's the funny part, right? Some jaws are about to fucking drop.
I feel like we should save that for next time.
Oh no,
it's so tempting.
We are going to, because there's a dot coming up.
Are you kidding me? That's before?
Yeah. It's gonna be good. Oh yeah. I have to say though, this didn't turn out like I meant. I didn't expect him to score a Minos Bardish on the first try, I said. That's a holy attribute weapon, and it just rips through ghosts and undead. We shouldn't have offered that guaranteed drop the first time around. Oh, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have offered that guaranteed drop the first time around, Ramirez lamented. Floor 60 was guarded by Adelman. I had him go to by the moniker the Immortal King in the hopes that he'd drive away challengers like back in his White King days. But really, his strength lay mostly in commanding armies. He was weaker than Bovix or Equix solo, and I had a suspicion we'd be disappointed once more today. As a white, too, he was laughably weak against the holy and light elemental attributes. As long as Mark bandied that Minos Bardish around, I really didn't like Adelman's chances. I had given Adelman as much advice as I could, but the traps were supposed to be the main performers in this group of floors. I never expected a blockbuster performance from the boss himself, and that was why I felt okay with giving challengers a weapon that struck at his weak point. Now I felt like I wasn't fair to Adelman. Sad to say, I didn't see him stopping this trio. I'd like to think I'm just assuming the worst, but yeah, I hope he won't have a grudge against me for this, so I turned my expectations toward the Guardian of Floor 70 instead. And that's where we stop. We will be back next week for more of this. And you know what's really funny? The next page would literally... So we go from here, and on the next page we have more text, but then the page right after that is literally where we would have had the picture that I showed you guys earlier.
So we're only a little off from it.
So we're only a little off from where I wanted us to be. So we're actually doing pretty good. We made good time on this. So without Shem, we actually did pretty good. And hey, it's 10:34, so we did pretty good on time as well. So without
all things considered, yeah.
Without Shem, we actually did pretty well. You doing okay over there, Moon? You seem to be shaking.
Yeah.
He's like, he's just
tapping your foot.
Doing what I do.
Huh?
He's just impatient.
That's just what I do.
Just what you do.
He's just like,
guys, I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a good time with today's light novel reading and everything.
I kind of feel a little blue balled here. I hope I'm not the only one who feels.
Oh no,
blue-balled
it's
right
gonna
now.
be good, dude. It is gonna be good.
This whole session's been just setting up this comedic thing.
This whole thing has been doing some good setup, and I love it because nothing gets you better than a good setup, man. Nothing. A good setup is its own reward, man.
I think the worst thing is that we're going to forget all this build-up by next week, and I'm gonna be like, oh, the payoff's not going to feel as good as if we did it right now, but Bruh, I'm not going to make you guys stay up for that. You guys are in a different time zone than me.
Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, that is basically it for us for now. Hope you enjoyed this stream. We will all be back together next Monday, but Moon and I should be back for Anime Church with Fenris. Don't expect a lot of news for Anime Church, though. It is Golden Week. So a lot of stuff is on break or showing recap episodes and stuff like that. So not a lot of news going on with that. We may get together for shenanigans off stream or just chilling and being silly. Moon and I may get together this Tuesday for silly shenanigans if we feel like doing streaming stuff.
I'm gonna try to stream some Tuesday. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I heard Remnants of Shadows getting a second season.
You'll be happy. You'll be happy with this, Moon. You'll be happy with this, Moon. So we had our little Memorial Day celebration. We had burgers and brats and potato wedges and stuff. But that's not the cool part. So the cool part was I got my brother to watch Dungeons and Dragons. Honor Among Thieves, right? Like, well, they'd watched half of it already on Amazon, so we watched the other half of it, which was they'd gotten past the Underdark. They were on the beach after the Underdark. That's where they were at with being on there, watching it on Amazon, and so they finished the rest of it while we were eating. So literally, we all sat downstairs at the table and watched that together before I came back, finished up what I had to do with the room and everything, and set up the stream. So that was literally everything before the stream.
Nice.
So literally, for Memorial Day, little D&D. Which is not a bad thing at all. Little D&D goes a long way, man.
Oh, just a bit.
Just a good fun time. But guys, thank you so much.
And then you get another D, and then they meet in the middle. Wait a minute.
But guys, just a good fun time. We will see you all later. I hope you were looking forward to this. We got to catch Shim up on what he missed out on this week. So we'll have a little Shim recap, hopefully.
Make him just watch the stream.
I don't think that'll go
just
so
make him
well.
watch the scheme video. It's archived, right, on Twitch?
I have to send these over to YouTube, so something like that. Which reminds me, somebody remind me to update these things. Man, I really need to get somebody. Really need to give somebody access to these so they can update that stuff, because I do not remember to do that stuff. I'm terrible at remembering to do that stuff.
And maybe just set a reminder, worst case. But yeah.
Well, it's not the reminder that's the problem. It's finding the time. That is the problem. It is finding the time while I'm so busy trying to do all sorts of other stuff. I still have to stream and raise money for other stuff because I need to. Thank you so much, bitch. Anyway,
bitch.
Because in case things don't go, in case things don't go the way that I need them to go in time before the end of next month, I have to somehow raise enough money to stay here for another month. And it can't be a small amount this time. It has to be a bigger amount. So, but we'll come to that when they're not goons. They're writers now. They have official titles. One of them's even unofficial. I mean, they're both actually official voice monkeys for Fat Dog now too. So they're not goons.
I actually got some parts in some other projects now.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm a couple characters in a Bridge series now. Did I mention that?
All right, guys.
Oh, sweet.
Take care and good night, you rapscallions.
Bye-bye.
Oh, don't forget to check out. Forget to check out the reactions that we posted up on the Discord. Show love and support to our to people that react to us. Thank you. Love you.
Discord.
Bye-bye.
Bye.